Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept the storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to, the usual Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down a cherry tree in the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
Takes place in 2 days.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descended of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in old black, yeah, drop top the Phantom.
TV.
Can't beat us, join us, please bring your coinage. We sing 3-pointers, money shots all net, all vets. Bumps we not, jet skiing in them sunny spots. With women edible like gummy drops. Dummy stop, dummy stop. No weapon form can intercept the storm. Once my intellect is on, I'm projecting on magnetic fields and interact with blacks with athletic bills. I'm all about growth and development like residents of Ebbets Fields. Not to choose between woo and chew. We wanna line them colors up like a Rubik's Cube and fade to black, yeah, the truest hue. When you say the black man is God, who you alluded to, the usual Clarence 13X, a worthy guess. The words expressed come from the word in flesh. Elijah M, the NOI versus Leviathan. Messiah sent from the heavenly branches. 7 P's from since G-Dub cut down a cherry tree in the wilderness of North Mex, and we flossing death and forced aggression, or forced perception, forced protection, or forced confessions. It's all a lesson.
The sorcerers from Corsica, killer tonics, sticks and drums like the Philharmonic Orchestra. You niggas still playing harmonicas from officers. Fabric softener, jive turkeys popping 5 perkies, playing with keys, the Scotch stores type. For that soft white, we could've caught life, just being forthright. First class on my 4th flight, popping out like Fortnite. Every night we lit like Porsche lights. The meek shall inherit the earth, oh yeah, that scorched type. And these niggas, they some hoes in these streets. Me, I'm 10 toes in these streets. They lost their souls, niggas got holes in their feet. Shit, I'm just worried about the craft and how to perfect it. Not worried about the craft, yeah, that's out of perspectives. Focus on the chip like I'm Robert Kraft, and then how to protect it. It's the waves of the oceans. Get to the money, nigga, save your emotion. Descended of the slaves in the graves in the oceans. Mastermind that the waves is in motions. These niggas, they addicted to the folly, addicted to that molly. Making me a movie, them sticks made of holly. I'm Dr. Manhattan, sitting on top of Manhattan. When I get all 5 rings, snap my fingers and pop up on satin. Dressed in all black, yeah, drop top the Phantom. Blast.
To this day.
TV.
To this day.
Peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. Peace to the families. Peace to you and yours. Welcome, 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 welcome to another episode of Sacrilegious Sundays. You are now rocking with the best. Yes, this is your host for the evening, Brother Red Pillar. And that song that you just heard, ladies and gentlemen, that is Theta Waves featuring the twin pillars, Red and Blue Pill. All right. Salute. So with that being said, man, what's good with the family? How's everybody doing on this good Sunday? Marvelous weather, marvelous. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we doing a midday stream, 4:44 type ish. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, while the sun is still out, tap it in. I got shit to do tonight, so we're gonna do this on an early. It's a lot going on. I was supposed to be with you last night, but I got caught up in my research. Next thing I know, I looked up, it's midnight. Then I heard, I kept hearing something about a rapper named Boston Richie, and I thought maybe he would have got, you know, when you start hearing about these rappers, it's like, you know, if they're not getting locked up, they're getting bodied. So I went and did a deep dive, and I wish I never did that. Yeah, I wish I never did that. I had to go to sleep and wash my eyes and my ears out. You know what I'm talking about? So here we are today. Niggas got holes in their feet. Lord have mercy. Boy, oh boy. So here we are today. You know? And we're here. You know what I mean? And it's a lot of information, and it's a lot of stories, and it's a lot of things going on. So we're going to do the roll call, and then we're going to get to the information, and then we're going to get right. All right? So with that being said, we have South Carolina in the building. We got Chicago in the Chicago. We got Detroit in the building. He's a rat acting hard. Oh, no. Oh, it's more than that. Oh, Lord. If he was just a rat acting hard, I wouldn't have a problem with that. It's a lot of rats acting hard. Oh, Lord. It's a lot more than him than that. Oh, Lord. Pause. My God. Los Angeles in the building. Cleveland is in the building. Greenville is in the building. Detroit is in the building. New Bedford is in the building. We got Brooklyn in the mother effing building. BK stand up. What's happening? Philadelphia in the building. Summer Creek in the building. Boston in the building. We got North Las Vegas. Is that like North Las Vegas? Is that where the casinos are at? Or is that across the bridge? Let me know. East Oakland in the building. Gulfport in the building. We got Middletown in the building. Oakland in the building. Maywood, Illinois in the building. Portland in the building. Dothan, Alabama. Salute. Naptown. What's happening? You know what I mean? Pittsburgh. Southeast DC. You know what I'm talking about? VA in the building. Boston got a man, L's on L's. More L's than Cool J. Dallas in the building. We got Dallas in the building. Where he from? Florida, right? Lord have mercy. Florida. Y'all might have to deport that boy. Put his ass put him on Spirit Airlines. I don't know who going out more bad, Spirit or Boston Richie. North Las Vegas in the building. Shout out to Brooklyn. Memphis up in this thing. Shout out to the Juke Kings, Memphis. I gotta learn how to do that dance. I'm really feeling that. The Juke. You know what I'm saying? Like from the outside looking in, people will try to make fun of that. But that's some real footwork right there. You know, that shit is ancestral. I gotta learn that. I was trying to crip walk, but I'm gonna switch it up and go to the Memphis juke. You know what I'm saying? Wait till I get on the dance floor with that. I'll show them. You know what I'm talking about? I'll show them. You know? Y'all better beat New York, Philly. Nah, you know that's not gonna happen. You know? So New York packed up Atlanta. Is that correct? Because it's real quiet out here. Did New York pack Atlanta up? I just want to know. I know that they was blowing them out the pause. I know they was beating their butts the other night. Did they pack them boys up? That's all I want to know. Yeah, the juke is lit. You grew up juking? Yeah. I'm gonna get my feet work right. You know, I got 2 left feet, but we're gonna figure this thing out. You know what I'm talking about? Be more in the building, Norfolk in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, they spanked them boys. That's New York and Philly tomorrow. Damn, what that was last year, correct? What did we run through Philly? And then we had we got stopped by Boston. I don't know. I'm not really, you know, don't judge me. I'll be forgetting. I'm not really on that. I'm not on it like that. My son used to keep me updated with everything. I heard a juke from my the Memphis juke, the juke dance. You know what I'm saying? That's some fancy feet work right there. I must say that's some fancy feet work. Yeah, it used to be called the gangster walk in Memphis. Yeah. So they choked against New York sent Boston home last year and then choked. That's what it was. They ran up against Indiana. I remember now. DMV in the building. Juking and jiving. Right. They packed them boys up. Well, we'll see how it goes this time around. Phoenix in the building. Shout out to Phoenix and whatnot. You dig? So, a lot of things happening and whatnot. We're gonna talk about a few things. It's a lot of videos. I'm gonna get through. Maybe I don't know if I don't get through all of them, they will spill over. You know, they will roll over into Melanin Mondays. But you know, we'll get to what we can get to. It's a lot going on. It's just a lot. You know, we'll get to the Spirit Airlines and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, I had 2 bad experiences with Spirit Airlines, but I had a horrific experience with Frontier, right? I forgot where I was at, but they booked me at the gate. I'm talking about, I'm literally like, I think I got past the point to get, I was going on the plane. I was literally walking to get on the plane. I'm in the tunnel. They stopped me and made me pay $100 for my bag. You feel me? That right there, I never felt so bad at because I wanted to pop off. Like I felt offended. I was like, wait, what? They was like, yeah, with a straight face too. No, you know what I mean? They did not switch it up. They kept it straight. Like, nah, $100 right now, or you not gonna get on a flight. It just was the feeling of being under threat, and I felt like they dug in my pockets and just, it was like a strong arm robbery, bro. You feel me? Like I got stuck up on a walkway. You know what I mean? Like it was a horrible feeling, and I did a little fatwa against them. I hope they don't go down because we don't have too many Dollar Tree Airlines left, and you know them flights be kicking ass. You know what I'm saying? The Spirit used to, that was the old faithful. You know what I mean? That was the old faithful. So we got to figure some things out. You know what I'm talking about? You know? But they said that the people are trying to buy it. So we'll see. We'll see. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Let's not talk about the missed flights when the doors close. Oh, my goodness. I'm Mr. Miss Your Flight. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I've had a whole lot of those experiences. But then it's like, when you miss your flight, Spirit always, either Spirit or Frontier, it's like, all right, if I miss a Delta flight, I could always get to my destination because Spirit was always like the old reliable, you know what I mean? And it was good prices. So yeah, it's gonna get scary in them airways in the future. Yeah. Y'all niggas gonna be walking like the monks in a minute. You know what I'm talking about? Get your glutes up. Yeah, get your glutes up. I use skip lagged as well. That's a mother effing fact. Yeah, that's all I fly with is skip lag. Yeah. I'm hopping off at the motherfucking connector. You know what I mean? With a book bag on. That part. You know what I mean? Yeah, back to AirTran. I used to do when I lived in Atlanta, and this was like 2000, right? The year 1999. They used to have something called X Fares. Who remember that? They were so bootleg because X Fare will let you fly for $50, $49 if you was under 18. I was over 18, but I was up at CAU. That's around the time when I used to be on Clark, Atlanta. I used to be at the campus and everything. My dude, I was going up to that counter with IDs that looked like Akon. Matter of fact, I had Akon brother's ID, Omar. I used to go up to the fucking counter with Omar's ID. That's how I know white people think we all look alike. You can't do this with an auntie. If I saw a black woman at the counter, I would be like, nah, I got to come back tomorrow or something. But old white women, you could hand them an ID as long as you don't look like, as long as you don't have like a silky Hawaiian and whatnot, as long as you don't look like a woman and you're a man, they letting it fly. She would look me dead in my face and be like, how was your day, Omar? I'm like, shit, my day is great now. Let me get that pass, please. Let's go. I got a flight to catch. And they would let that shit fly. I was smitten. I was like, damn, this is the one time that being white works for us. This was the one time that this white shit works for us because they did not know. It was really all niggas look alike. I feel like that about Asian people. I didn't know. You know, I feel like that about the Patels. You know what I'm saying? All of the Patels look alike. So I guess we all look alike. So yeah, she was like, I'm talking about this nigga's blue black. My nigga Omar is off black. And I'm not that dark. I mean, I get tans and everything every now and then, but goddamn it, lady, like, what the fuck? You really letting this happen? I was ready to tell on myself. You did? Oh man. But yeah, that was the good old days of JetBlue with the $49. I was going everywhere. Facts. I'm dead ass. I was going everywhere. So yeah. Speaking about traveling and whatnot, who is catching up with, I call it the Shaka Bars tour. It's not even I Show Speed no more. It's the fucking Shaka Bars tour. Because every single clip with I Show Speed, I got to look at Shaka Bars. I'm like, come on, fam. Like, goddamn it. If that's the case, my nigga, you should be streaming too. Like, where's your Twitch channel? Because you're everywhere with Mr. I Show Speed. But who's been following I Show Speed in the Caribbean? Who's been following I Show Speed in the Caribbean? Right? My dude, I like the Caribbean more than the Africa trip for starters. Respectfully. You know what I mean? Shout out to the continent, the motherland and all of that. But I'm rocking with the vibes that I'm getting from the Caribbean more. Oh my goodness. Lord had mercy. Oh man. Lord had mercy. They got some eye candy in that motherfucker, boy. I tell you. Africa was the jump off. Yes, respectfully. You know what I mean? And the Caribbean, he's doing his thing out there. He was just in the Virgin Islands, which happens to be where Mama Pill, my family is out from Virgin Islands, St. Croix to be exact, St. Thomas and whatnot. So he just ran up on the Tainos. The Tainos over there look like us. They look like, you see my nose and everything, like the Tainos. I got to look at the Taino. I was like, God damn it. I found my cousins and whatnot. God damn it. You know what I'm talking about? But check this out. Oh, yes, the food. Oh, my goodness. I could smell the roti through the goddamn phone, bro. Man. But check it out.
I know you met with our brothers and sisters in Dominica, the Calanango tribe.
Yes.
And we wanted to present these gifts to you. This is South from South Island. This was picked. We are all.
What's the bid rate?
We're good right now.
Okay.
We are all the children of the current chief of the Guinea Taino tribe of the Virgin Islands. Our mom, Cacique Makia Fan, she handpicked this salt from South Island, and we want to gift it to you. Along with this,
Johnny King.
since St. Thomas is known as Rock City, we wanted to give you this. This are tool our ancestors used to make, and of course you got it right.
What is
right
it?
there.
What is it used for?
You could use it for anything.
Protection.
You
Wait,
could-
so y'all,
that.
wait, that's your real hair?
Yeah.
No way.
Hold it.
Wow. What kind of hair is that?
I know.
That's how my hair.
Hey,
That's
there we
my
go.
hair right there.
Yeah, original indigenous.
That is my hair.
So y'all are indigenous to
Taino.
Brothers and sisters, and that's my son right there, been running with y'all there. Island
Right
boy.
here.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's our dad.
That's
Our-
crazy.
Wasn't able to be here, but we wanted to make sure we come by. and
So,
represent culture.
this is my family. My mother, this is my dad. We got 12 brothers and sisters. My mother is the cacique of the island, which is in
the Guinea Taino tribe of the Virgin
the
Islands.
chief. We are the indigenous Indians that are actually here when Columbus came to the island. Okay, and this is my family.
Yes.
Dang.
Yeah, salute. And then I seen Mano in them. Mano is from St. Thomas, and they doing they over there for Carnival. So shout out to the Caribbean, man. That's right here in our backyard. Shout out to the Caribbean. Shout out to everybody that's being highlighted, all of those different nations and whatnot, all of those different flags. You know what I'm talking about? And then salute to the young God for bringing the world, like bringing our world into new worlds, because every time he goes live, he's bringing people into a new world. You feel me? He's bringing people into a new world by walking into these new worlds. He's introducing them to culture, because they not, you know what I mean? From what I saw, I'm not watching every stream and whatnot, but they're going very deep into the culture. I really feel like that's Chaka Bar's influence. Chaka Bars is going to make sure that I Show Speed is tapping into his ancestors and his indigenous and his cultural self. That's why he's there. He's not just there to stand around. He's there to coach. He's there. He's playing a role that the big homies need to be playing. He's playing, like when the passport bros start moving around, it would help if they had a guide who was experienced, like a maroon, or somebody who, like a shaman, or somebody who has indigenous type of experience. That will make things work better. That will make things work better. You know what I mean? I'm not doing poverty traveling where you got to go to a country and go right to the hood or the favela, or you want to show our people in a downtrodden state. Man, get out of here with all of that. You know what I'm talking about? Get out of here with all that. I ain't jacking none of that. We not giving, no, that them days is over with. All of that sex tourism and shit like that. Yeah, all of that shit is gone. We going into the indigenous parts of, we going to where we got to wake the ancestors up. We going into the castles. We going onto the mounds. We going into the forests and whatnot. You know what I mean? We want to meet the witch doctor, the real culture. You know what I'm saying? Not that shit that not that colonizer ish. They've been showing that for a long ass time, and I'm very tired of it. Not that NGO colonizer missionary type shit. That's all they've been showing for years. That's all they've been showing us. So we don't even realize how wealthy and how rich a lot of the land is. But we're finally beginning to see that. So salute to the young God. And yeah, I'm gonna keep on keeping up with him as he moves around. Okay. As he moves around. Let me see. I might have one more clip. Let me check. I mean, I got so many clips, it don't make no sense. For real.
Guys, listen to what is.
Well, let's just get on something else, because right now, as we talk about Speed and his journeys and whatnot, there's this whole thing going on in South Africa where they banging on each other on some xenophobia type ish, right? They banging on each other on some xenophobia type ish. So you got bootlicking Africans, bootlicking South Africans running down on the Ghanaians, right? But the white folks is popping off on them, and they don't got no pushback against them. So check this shit out.
Guys, listen to what this South Africa's xenophobic leader is saying. Listen.
We are police of the community. We are looking after our own properties, which is our women.
So black South African women are properties to you. But when you see a white South African woman, you worship them. South African people, this is your leader.
Look at this dude right here, straight cooning.
It's not the same boy, the village boy, pursuing all African immigrants in South Africa. I thought this video was AI generated video until I found this same video in his own official page. I thought maybe some people, they created this AI video just to, I don't know, maybe to mock him. I don't know. But this video was uploaded by him. Anyways, I don't know what he's telling the white lady. Why kneeling? Maybe something that can be done. Why?
Look at his face, bro. This shit is pathetic, bro. This shit is wild pathetic. Like, look at his face, bro. I mean, goddamn, bro. What the fuck?
I don't know. Which I don't even care to know. I don't know. I don't understand what the guy is talking about. South Africans. South African youth. Damn.
You want me to live? 250. Okay, you have 250. You want 300. Yeah, it's fine. Petra,
Some of them dudes will cook you in a pot over them white folks, bro. They will body you for they white people, bro. I promise you. That's why I don't want to. I mean, it's bad enough out here, but never in your life send me somewhere where Negroes is worshiping pale faces and clear people. I mean, I will. If you want to see me go crazy, just send me to a place where I see niggas on their knees around white folks. I'm gonna go bonkers, bro. I cannot. If you want to talk about a pet peeve, white worshiping is one of my biggest pet peeves. I can't stand it. I mean, code switching is one thing, you gotta get your money. You know what I mean? You in corporate America, you switch up. You know what I mean? You clench your butt cheeks and you get to, excuse me, sir. But this shit right here, like, there's no need for this. This shit right here, bro. Come on, fam.
300 pounds. Yeah, 300.
And then the hatred. And it's one thing to be into other people. Once again, I ain't policing nobody's heartstrings. You know what I'm saying? Do you? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, do what you got to do. Just don't forsake your own. This is a lesson that's going to keep repeating itself. It's like, do what you do, but do not do it to, quote unquote, go against your own. You could worship clear people. You could worship other nationality. You could do all of that type shit if that's what you want. But the minute you start weaponizing your fetishment against your own people, and then you look down the same way with the swirlers and whatnot, or the divestors, and you look down and you try to harm your own, that's when it gets that's when you cross the line. You know what I mean? This is when it becomes a problem. This is when you're becoming a Roman, and that shit just does not fly.
Papetela. You born a papetela? Nah. Now I'm telling you, Papatic Balabana. Hey! I'm shutting you on it. Let's have this on it.
It be the most militant niggas. It be the ones that look just like him, all hyped up. You know what I'm talking about? With them cave Betty fetishes. You gotta watch these niggas.
Let's have
Really mad that them Nigerians is knocking their women down. That's what it be.
Hey, how's it, my friend? Hey.
I want to see him march through the white side of town like that, though. Against the Boers. Or the Africans. So not only do they got him acting a damn donkey, they got their women on it too. They got their women. They have a oppositional leader. This an African woman as well, and come to find out, she was also chasing behind Africans.
Sinka or never had a problem with foreigners in their country until a Nigerian man broke a heart. Watch this video.
I love Nigerian music. I love Nigerian people. I love Nigerian men. If I had to marry a South African man, I would cheat on him with a Nigerian man. Amen. Baby.
Nigerian men, stop breaking hearts.
Red, that's not what the problem is. Foreigners are not respecting the homelanders. All right, homelander. Look, it is what it is. I'm pointing out the people who decided to be the face of the resistance and the fact that they're fucking hypocrites. That's what I'm pointing out. You dig what I'm saying? I'm pointing out the fact that these are some hypocrites. That's what I'm pointing out. The fact that there's some type of disrespect taking place, you know, that shit happens everywhere. You know what I'm talking about? But in South Africa, you know, there's an issue that I know that the white people don't respect nobody there. So I feel that the most egregious situation on that land, and I'm not from there, but from what I've seen, when are they going to handle that problem? When are they going to deal with that? When they talk about foreigners and everything, the real foreigners, them crackers that came over there and kicked y'all ass and took your whole land and created a policy where everybody had to be light skinned. How about that? How about that? And got people living in slumber and everything while they living all high on the hog and whatnot. What about that? They putting all of that energy on Ghanaians and Nigerians, but what about that?
I love Nigerian people. I love Nigerian men. If I had to marry a South African man, I would cheat on him with a Nigerian man. Amen. Baby.
Nigerian men, stop breaking hearts.
Stop breaking hearts. You know? So, you know, my thing is, if they're going to pick people to be the voices of the people, just make sure that those people that they pick are right and exact. And then they stand on whatever that, you know what I mean? Like, it's looking real goofy when you got so-called leaders and whatnot, but they getting on their knees to quote unquote South African white folk. You lose all credibility. I can't even hear nothing that you say after that because I'm like, nah, you weird, bro. You're weird. And then let's go right back to what we've been talking about when it comes. And once again, I don't want to make this a race thing and everything, but you know, our women are in danger around white men. And check it out.
And I intend you to question.
And you threatened my mom.
Yes, I threatened your mom. Yes, that's what I did.
There she goes.
So there was a WhatsApp, right? No, there was a Telegram group chat with 70,000 white men talking about what they were doing to their black women. Okay? So it cuts both ways. You dig? But they up in Africa for that South African talking about they want to protect their women. They all up in Africa, you know what I'm saying? Doing these black women crazy. Because they get away with that shit more in Africa than they do in America and whatnot. But they in America taking advantage of these women too. There's 70,000 of them. That's just on WhatsApp or Telegram. That was a private group chat. 70,000 of them. And all they talking about is how to do black women dirty. Imagine if black men had some shit going on like that. I mean, I'm not. Black men got they shit that they need to deal with the way that they do their women. You feel me? I am definitely not about to get up here and act like that. You know, that everything is peachy cream and everything. There's a lot of work to be done. But this whole divestment thing. You feel me? This whole divestment thing where, oh, I'm going to rock with Zaddy and whatnot. I'm going to rock with my Snow King because he respects me and he upholds me and he understands me and we're going to glow up under him. Okay.
Okay. There she goes.
I don't wish no bad on nobody. You feel me? All I am is a reporter. I report the news. This news be finding me. I don't even look for this shit. It finds me. I promise you. I promise you the news be looking for me. You feel me? So it finds me and I bring it to y'all. So here we go. Why are brothers so scared and submissive to the clear man? I'm sick of that shit. What brothers you know? Because the brothers that I know, they not submitting to no white people. I don't know what brothers you around, but the ones that I know from New York to Atlanta to Texas, they not submit. I don't know who you around, but they are not submitting. My whoever you are, Aaron, if you a dude or a woman, because you know I feel like, yeah, they not submitting. I don't see submission. I see submission from our women to them though. That's what I see. In corporate America, they submitting. In the bedroom, they submitting. In the clubs, I seen them submitting. In the bars, I seen them submitting. So I don't know what you're talking about. Where I come from in New York, they was popping off until Giuliani came. He had to, you know what I mean? He was putting cases on niggas, but yeah, they was very they was crossing the street, and back when I was young, back in Flatbush and other, they had to cross the street.
Yes, I intend you to.
Now these new men, they was raised to be punks. These new men, they was raised to submit. These new men that didn't have that type of figure in their life to teach them to keep their head up, but they had a figure in their life that taught them how to conform and how to submit. Yeah, them new niggas is weird. Yeah, they kind of weird to me, but I don't know about. I'm Generation X. We was militant. We was very militant. You know? And our women too. Our women was not doing what they doing now. Our women was they was locked in. They was locked in. So this is some new ish. This is new programming. This is coming from a new generation, a new tier. Respectfully. Why is he crying? I don't know. I don't know. But I know that news report should have made as much noise as the Megan Thee Stallion and the Clay Thomas. They should have gone viral like that. I didn't see too much uproar. I didn't see too much pushback. I don't see too many things going viral that need to. You know? When is that conversation ever going to happen amongst black women about what the white zaddies is out here doing? When is that going to come out? Because there's a lot of there's a lot of black man hate out there. Could we balance it? You know?
In a bombshell report, veteran journalist Elisa Valdez Rodriguez revealed that Jeffrey Epstein's
honestly think that white people are ever going to change a system that forces everyone else to mimic whiteness in order to survive? That doesn't even make any sense. If we ever fought a class war, you think white people vote on economics when we've only fought one war? White people are going to say it was a civil war. Everyone else is going to go, it was a race war, right? Well, everyone else knows that white people only voted to restrict the rights of other people, right? Husbands restricting the freedoms of their wives. This isn't controversial. This is quite literally history, right? And civil wars don't happen on battlefields. I'm not going to ask white people when the Civil War started. They have no idea about the Dred Scott decision, right? But Civil War started in the Supreme Court. And this week, the Supreme Court took away all the voting rights of black people. So I know exactly. We're 4 years away from another civil war, but I have more receipts. Abortion is gone. Roe versus Wade is gone. Voting rights, gone. Black people don't have those anymore. Separation of church and state, right? Erica Kirk, WWE, Republican revivals. That one's safe to say. Workers' rights. Let's just keep this going. $7.25 an hour. Even though in some of the richest states, you need to make $200,000 to be considered middle class. So all they're doing is just pushing out all the poor people. Affordable housing, right? Private equity and hedge funds are going to control almost half of the rental homes in America by 2030. Check. Okay, media. Larry Ellison's the top donor to the IDF, and he owns fucking Paramount, CNN, and TikTok and 30 other things. Okay, check. And lastly, healthcare. We're never going to have free healthcare. White people aren't going to get a free thing if black people can get free things. Easily sell socialism to any group of white people as long as they weren't landlocked with the group of people that they fucking hate the most. That doesn't even make any sense. White people will always vote to keep themselves poor, right? That's how we maintain our majority. That's how we maintain our supremacy. The mother of every single economic system was a racist homophobe, right? And so you're not safe under their systems. There's no world where you're going to be safe. You think you're safe in America if you're gay, if you're a woman, if you're black? It's not real, right? There's no safety here. It's just safety for me, right? That's what this is. But either way, the second we teach them all class consciousness, the entire political and legal system is going to not subjugate black people anymore. What?
We're literally in a timeline right now where the crash is accelerated, right? We're in a timeline right now where things are going, there are things happening at an accelerated pace. Now, based off of your perspective, you would say that that's not positive. When I see things falling apart, when I see things crashing, when I see the mayonnaise meltdown, when I see the the MAGA meltdown, when I see WWE, my nigga, that's positive. That's positive. And every Tuesday, me and Spence City get up here and we talk about some of the great positive things that are happening. Y'all don't show up. You feel me? It's like 3% of the overall crowd shows up. So what do you want? What you want from me? I'm giving the news. This is a news channel. You feel me? And there's a lot of positive things going on. You feel me? There's a lot of positive things going on. So Babylon falling, that shit is positive. Because forever, for my whole entire life, this shit was doing, it was moving a little bit differently. Now, because the people are waking up and the people are getting their shit together and the people are tapping into their ancestral powers and whatnot, things are beginning to fall apart. Things are beginning to become affected and whatnot. You feel me? In order for something to rise, something has to fall. So what are we doing? We're documenting the fall. We're documenting the rise as well. We're also documenting the solutions that are staring our people in the face. But I don't know if our people actually see the solutions that are literally staring them in the face. I don't think our people understand the power that they have collectively. And I don't think our people understands that the times that they're in, these times are not going to last forever and whatnot. So yeah, every Tuesday, me and Spence City get up here and we speak about 1,000 positive things that you could be doing and whatnot. All type of income stream ideas, all type of technology and the tools that are coming out, all of that. All of that. So for people that was oppressed and they had cops standing on their necks and whatnot, our people was marching and crying. They have no solutions and they didn't see no help in sight. They was like, damn, when is somebody gonna care for us? And then shit started changing. People started revealing things. The apocalypse started taking place. All the apocalypse is the healing, is the revealing and whatnot. The seals are broken. The veil is lifted. Yeah, that shit gonna look ugly and whatnot. The motherfuckers are showing their fangs and whatnot. And we are livicated or dedicated to documenting that and showing that. Never once have I got up here and fear-mongered my people and whatnot. You literally could go back to when I was in 125th Street 10 years ago, 20 years ago. What have we been doing? Decoding the motherfucking news, decoding the information and the metaphysics and the occult. I'm not Les Brown, my niggas. I'm not here to fucking talk about you know what I mean? That's not my job. That is not my job. But everything that we reporting on is coming from a positive role. Now, if you're in the audience and you're a white person, yeah, you might be offended. And I don't even come at white folks like that, to be honest with you. Shout out to all of my clear friends, and the grays out there. I don't even be, you know what I mean? I'm just showing the shit that they doing. I'm showing the things that they have hidden that my white friends did not tell me about. I gotta rely on these TikTokers that are exposing truths by the nuggets and whatnot. But the white friends that I was in picnics with, the white friends that I used to hang out and smoke blunts with, they never told me any of this shit. None of them. And I don't give a fuck how high we got. They never found it in their motherfucking likeness to say, hey guys, you know what? America's stolen. Yeah, my great grandfather stole it. You know what I mean? They never told me nothing. I got fucking I got more information from Brosy O'Donnell, nigga, than any white person that I ever known. I don't have white folks calling me up this on my friends list every day giving me downloads like Brosy is giving us. Because Brosy is giving this shit every day. She's nonstop. She don't stop working. How many of y'all got white friends that call you every day with some new truths? I don't have those friends. What are my white friends trying to do? They want $5,000 to come meditate with them. They want $3,000 to come do some yoga with them. You know what I'm talking about? They want $100 for some sea moss. That's what they trying to charge niggas. You know? So what do? I be putting my white friends on. Hey, I'm sending them bros these videos. Yo, check that out. That's they temperature check. If they be like, nah, I'm not with that, unfollow. Nigga, what? You're not my friend. You're not my friend. So that's just to, you know, that's to alleviate anybody out there and let them understand what this shit really is. You know what I'm saying? This is a news channel. This is information. Okay?
Choice of headline: man charged with attempted murder after 2 Jewish men stabbed in London. Now, this did happen, but you would be surprised to find out there was a third person stabbed. He was Muslim. Also, attempted murder by the same guy. But for whatever reason, because he's Muslim, did he not make the headline? Or is it because you guys want to make this look like a Jewish attack that he didn't make the headline? See, at least BBC admits that there were 3 people that got stabbed, but then again, right off the rip, they only mentioned the 2 Jewish men. You see, and I have a lot of questions because it's almost like you guys dehumanized the Muslim person to not even exist in the attack and want to make this look like an anti-Semitic attack. So one must wonder, why would people come to the conclusion that you guys are controlling the media, right? Because, you know, I would think a third person that got stabbed and was connected in the same day by the same person would be involved in this headline. And I would imagine if they were Jewish, this would say murder after 3 Jewish men stabbed. But because they're Muslim, they're not mentioned until later in the article. And they don't even mention that they're Muslim. It's just like, oh, there's a third person that was involved in the attack. See, that's a...
You dare say Alex Jones was putting the info out? Alex Jones? Do you know who Alex Jones is? No. You need to get your information from a better source before you get up here talk about Alex fucking Jones, bro. Come on, fam. Stop that. Alex fucking Jones. Come on, man.
Choice, right? Now, this shit not working anymore. You understand? The only reason you mentioned the 2 Jewish men and not the Muslim man is because you guys need the American and UK general public to support this apocalyptic country that's not even fucking real. And this is not just any person. This is a person that is a government and political official. This is his wife. You know how evil and vociferous of a person you have to be to celebrate birth while simultaneously celebrating someone else's death that you're causing? Clearly, God did not take his time with him, made him in a speed run. Ugly as fuck. But see, that's not just anybody. This is a politician, a government official. He makes decisions, and he celebrates birthdays with a noose cake. You understand? You have...
William Cooper, for the record, hated Alex Jones. William Cooper, for the record, hated Alex Jones. Go on Google, William Cooper calls Alex Jones the feds a week before he dies. Let's do that. Let's get to that. William Cooper hated Alex Jones. Real white people hated Alex Jones. A broken clock is right twice a day. I don't want to hear about, oh, he's told us some... God damn it. Alex Jones is a op. Alex Jones is CIA. Alex Jones is a piece of shit, bro. Him, Joe Rogan. If you don't know control opposition when you see it, then I don't really know I don't know what to tell you. William Cooper was a real one. Yes. William Cooper was a real one. Michael Moore's a op. Michael Moore, the police, he a small hat. You know what I mean? Most of them who was telling the truth, they not here no more. The whole David Wilcock, his videos have been coming across my timelines and whatnot, and he was speaking some truths. You know, he had this thing for black people and whatnot. He wasn't intimidated in speaking our names and whatnot. That's my litmus test. Even, you know what I mean? That's like David Icke. That's the police to me. Alex Jones and David Icke is the same person. Jordan Maxwell and all of them. You know what I mean? That's all control opposition. That's all control opposition. Facts. All of that. Where there's 9 foot tall extraterrestrials with blonde hair. If you don't get pack them up, get them out of here. I don't want to hear none of that. There's nobody else that said that shit before in life. You guys are trying to run with a Star Trek narrative. You guys are running with a Star Trek Zachariah Sitchin narrative. Nobody ever reported that they saw white folks in space or white folks in another galaxy. That's some bullshit. That's propaganda. I never saw a white person in my dreams. You know what I'm talking about? I never saw a white folk in my dreams, let alone out of space. I never went on a trip. I never went on no type of plant-based trip and saw a white folk in the motherfucking in the ethers. I never saw them in the meditation. I ain't see them. I didn't see them on no type of plant-based medicines. I don't see them in meditation, and nobody else is talking about them. You don't read no ancient books talking about some pale, clear folks stepping out of no goddamn spaceships. So that whole entire peanut gallery of all of these new age people, they're tied into Aleister Crowley. They're tied into all of these wild ass crackers, you know what I'm saying, that are closer to Epstein than they are to the truth. Let's be clear. Let's be very clear. Okay? Let's be clear. We talked about Boston Richie. Do not spam the motherfucking chat. Okay? You're going to get treated like Boston Richie. What about Stephen Greer? What about him? He looks weird to me. I don't know about him. That's your mans and the mans. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know about Stephen Greer. He was on Vlad TV. I don't talk. He lost all respect. Yeah, P47, P52. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, P47 and P52. The only thing that she didn't say, young Amy, is that them is some niggas. That she forgot to mention that part, that all of that P47, whenever they start coming up with these codes and whatnot, they just don't want to say it's niggas with afros. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want to say that it's niggas with afros from the future and whatnot. Shit, P47, P52. Well, pH balance. What the fuck you talking about? What are you talking about? That's semantics to me. All of that new age shit, that's all Aleister Crowley, Blavatsky. That shit goes all the way to Kenneth Copeland and them. That's all Crowley niggas playing around out there in the Hollywood Hills. Weirdos. You know what I'm saying? Weirdos. I'm not rocking with none of that. Y'all need to detox from all of that fake ass new age shit. Niggas want to, man, don't even do it.
Zero of my fucking support. We're going back to war this week. Boots on the ground in Iran. So I see why you guys are trying to amplify this Jewish fear and that they're under attack around the world. It's almost amazing to me that you guys haven't realized you've lost the narrative and you almost continue to cook yourselves into an eternal of hell. And that's where you guys is going. Hell is hot, and I hope you dress cold. And Ben, specifically, really an ugly piece of shit. And I can't believe, you know what? God probably didn't make you. You probably a spawn of Satan. So is your wife. If you have some kids, feel bad for them too, because they are fucked. Now, somebody put my sex phones, man. I see you only 49 years old, but tell you right now, you living wrong. And that shit gonna come to an end. Maybe not tomorrow, maybe not next month, maybe not next year, maybe not 10 years from now.
What? Yo, he's 49? Nah, son. No. How, Sway? I thought he was 94. Oh my goodness. The amount of evil that lives in this man's husk at 49. Look at what it's doing to him. Yo. Damn, son. Nah, 49. I'm older than son. Get out of here.
But hell is hot, and I hope you dress cold, dickhead. Because guess what? This shit is over. You've lost the public. Y'all gonna be by your lonesome. Soon as Trumpstein is out, it's over. It's cooked. You guys are done for. And I cannot wait for that day.
Man, that's crazy. We age differently, allegedly. Nah, fuck that. Really? Look at it. Oh, man. My nigga had a hard knock life in Israel. Bumba Clyde. Yeah, he's definitely living wrong. That should not. Y'all better get in the gym. Because if you touching 49 looking like that, it's man, hang it up. You know what I'm talking about? This nigga, man, he looking senior. He looking like a citizen. Yikes. All right, let us continue.
Dinner is raising even more questions. It shows a Fox.
Oh man. So back to James Dean Cole. Dean Cole, J. Cole. Every single Trump shooting was a farce, right? None of them add up, okay? You're literally living through a scripted hell shit show, okay? And they can't even get their stories correct. God darn it. Like, I want some good theater, man. I mean, for all of this taxes that I'm paying, y'all not even giving us good movies. Y'all not giving us good theater. This shit could be debunked. You know what I'm saying? Like Stevie Wonder could debunk it, man. The stuff that's coming out on this situation yeah. Yeah. Come on, fun. Come on, son.
From the White House Correspondents' Dinner is raising even more questions. It shows a Fox News reporter redirecting the K-9 officer who was seen speaking to the shooter just seconds before he charged a security checkpoint with a firearm in his hands. Take a look. There's the Fox News reporter in the center of the screen. Just watch what he does. He's frantically waving down somebody. I wonder who that could be. Oh, it's the K-9 officer. What's he doing? He's redirecting him. Then look at this. He starts speaking to who appears to be a Secret Service agent right after that. Nothing suspicious here at all. Here's what happened later on that night. We can see the dog is alerting the K-9 officer to a suspicious person. He talks to the person, redirects the dog away from him, and then walks away. Then watch what happens after this.
But not only that, how are you talking to a man that has weapons on him and he's not wearing the what the hell is going on here?
3 seconds later, there he comes, the gunman. The reporter's name is Trey Yinks.
It don't make sense. The man with the look, this is a canine dog. They bite people. He's literally talking to a man with a fucking shoulder strap rifle and 2 blickies on his side. Make it make sense.
Canine officer to a suspicious person. He talks to the person, redirects the dog away from him, and then walks away. Then watch what happens after this. 3 seconds later, there he comes, the gunman. The reporter's name is Trey Yinks. He serves as the chief foreign correspondent for Fox News, based in Jerusalem. You've probably seen him reporting live from Tel Aviv numerous times. He was there as a guest, not part of the security team in any way, but right after shots were fired, he delivered first-hand accounts and live updates from the scene. Right after the shooting, he provided detailed explanations of the event's security perimeters and checkpoint protocols. I'm not saying this is staged or not, but given what Donald Trump and Fox News have done over the past 10 or 20 years, nothing would surprise me.
Like, this is adding on to the collective dumbing down of this society, to whereas you would wind up arguing with people who are going to deny you from your truth as to what it is that you're looking at. They will dead ass tell you that's not what it is. So at this point, you can't even argue with people. You literally have to let people tell on themselves, because they will show you. They will show you that they are completely they are drones. They are controlled opposition. You feel me? They have no cognitive you don't even got to be on point to see that vote. Fam, are you serious?
Takes place in 2 days, sponsored by Jeff and Lauren.
Not yet. We're gonna get into that. Hold on. I think we got one more clip on that situation. You know, as it just.
One has to wonder, are you trying to make yourselves look incompetent? Because here we have Cole Allen going into this little room in the Cut Like Neosporin. The dog pull up like, wait a second, this guy's suspicious. Cop looking at him, what, y'all having a conversation, talking? Dog goes back like, I smell something, I'm telling you, I'm just saying. And within a second, bro, moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, and as we know, they say he just shot the shotgun. I did not see no recoil on the shotgun. And then we see like a knife or something slip right here. That means he's already on the ground. So now I know this man did not shoot no shots. But the most important part of the video is this beginning interaction, because he already has the tool on him and the dog goes in there. And so you're telling me within a half of a second of you turning around, he was able to pull the shotgun out and sprint through and hit the Naruto run, dodge every single bullet as Secret Service decides to self-frag and shoot they homie right here in the cut like peroxide. Down goes fucking Fraser. And then two knives slide across. And at no point in time do I see this man shoot the shotgun. If he was shooting that shotgun on the run like that, Son's shoulder would have blew the fuck back. I mean, what the fuck is the protocol? I have seen people get shot unarmed. This man has the dog on him. You know what I'm saying? And it goes back not once, but twice. And then one of the funniest things is boy and the dog, they just peel the fuck out. I don't think you would make, set the dog after him. Son started walking. He hears some shots. He like, uh-oh, let me get the fuck up out of here. They turned the camera because they knew that shit was embarrassing. He didn't even give it a try. So now we know he didn't take no shots. So what y'all trying to get? And you try to say he attempted to assassinate the president, but he never shot no shots. Just to finalize this, we have one incompetent cop that has his dog check this person twice and somehow does not see him taking off his jacket and pulling out a shotgun. And then we have a bunch of incompetent cops on the floor and some Secret Service members that somehow just don't know what the fuck is going on. Then we have one trigger-happy Secret Service member that fires 4 shots, most likely frags his own homie. And then he's on the ground, 2 knife slide, and you want me to believe he shot a shotgun, but you cannot find the casing, and you're telling me that it's just still in the gun. Conveniently, just like Tyler Robinson. Okay, and since you guys want me to believe that this is 100% real, couldn't have been preventable, he had a manifesto, you're gonna send him to prison for life, I'm gonna let you know, Secret Service, you guys fucking suck. Most incompetent bunch ever. Everybody should be fucking fired.
Like, it just don't make no sense.
A lot of people don't understand.
You know? And we just gotta dismantle the BS. Do not involve yourself. I'm just giving y'all a heads up at the water cooler. Don't even waste your time. Don't even waste your time at the kitchen table trying to convince them people. Just let it fly, man. Just observe. Just observe.
2 hours before we attacked
You know, just observe and know that the people is cooked. You know what I'm saying? People are fucking cooked in this place.
2 hours before we attacked Iran on February 28th, the United States Air Force was seen removing aircrafts from the military bases over in the Middle East. Now, would you find it suspicious if I told you as of 3 hours ago, it's being reported that the United States Air Force is doing that again? And would you also find it suspicious if I told you that about 6,500 tons of ammunition finally arrived in Izzy today, and reports are saying that that is 4 times the usual amount? Now, would you also find it suspicious if I told you that Izzy news stations are reporting that Izzy is prepared for the U.S. to start attacking Iran again based off phone conversations that they had earlier today? Now, would you also find it suspicious that even though after 60 days Donald Trump is supposed to go get congressional approval to remain in the war, last week he told Congress he didn't need congressional approval because the ceasefire paused that 60-day requirement, even though nowhere in the legislation says that a ceasefire pauses the 60-day requirement. Now, I am filming this at 1:12 a.m. EST on May 3rd. Hopefully, when we all wake up, nothing about this will be suspicious. But if we wake up and our suspicions are proven to be correct, go fill up your gas tank. That's all I got to say.
Fox News not being honest with their reporting. This is where they started the video. Looks like dog sniffing. By the way, what's the point of having a dog if you're not going to go off the lead if it's not staged, by the way? Yeah, but Fox News misses an entire portion of the video. Well, let's play this video to see what he missed, because if this isn't staged, If this isn't staged and did they let him in? Just walked right past. Is the cop talking to him? It almost looks like the cop's talking to him. Just right on by, huh? Now this part of the video. Did you guys know this is Trump, by the way? He admitted that he was looking to see where he could help. But so yeah, not the grabbing of you know what. This is Trump up here looking. Now let me ask you guys a question, especially for MAGA. If Joe Biden was back here in this little photo, just staring, would MAGA be saying something like, isn't this weird? They just attempted to take his life, but yet somehow Secret Service is letting him just stand there in the back of the stage like a creepy movie. And now this whole thing gets even weirder. If Joe Biden was describing male law enforcement officers and he saw a bunch of male law enforcement officers and he said like, oh, they're a handsome group. Oh, that's a strapping fellow. He's got some dynamic characteristics. He's really in shape. He's really in shape. Can you see Joe Biden saying that? That wouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, he's a strapping guy. He's an in shape guy. If Joe Biden said what President Trump's about to say about male law enforcement officers, would MAGA say anything about it if Joe Biden said this?
I also saw a lot of very strong, physically strong, really attractive law enforcement people come through those doors. And frankly, it made me feel very safe.
Of all the words, attractive. Yes, everything is fake and apparently gay.
News. Proof the White House correspondent dinner shooting was staged. Let's call this the hat trick. Official security camera footage captures the moment suspected shooter Cole Thomas Allen rushes a checkpoint. But it's all cap, literally. Look at the Secret Service cap transform into a do-rag. That boy Hulk Hogan. The AI residue proves that this is more than meets the eye. Stay tuned for more breaking news.
Can't even afford Netflix.
1 trillion for the war. Killing, killing, killing. $0 for the floor. Billing, billing, billing. Danny's watching from the shore. Chilling, chilling, chilling. Not a penny for the poor. Billing, billing, billing. 2.1 trill lying in Iraq. That's just the first tab, they never pay back. 2.3 in Afghanistan. 20 years later, nothing but a phantom plan. Now another drill lying for Iran. Bernie dropped the paper, said look at the byline. Not a bridge, not a school, not a single bed. Just missiles, armed missiles, bombs on your head. You ask for a roof, they say not in the budge. You ask for a teacher, they give you a judge. With a gavel that drops on the poor and the sick, while the war machine's eating your future. Tick, tick. 1 trillion for the war. Killing, killing, killing. $0 for the floor. Killing, killing, killing. Donnie's watching from the shore. Chilling, chilling, chilling. Not a penny for the poor. Not for you, not for for me. Let's do the math while I light the cigarette. 22.8 billion just to make the jet sweat. I could've put a roof on 6.8 million kids. Instead, it's burning in the desert. Guess what it did? 2.6 million homes could've been built. 1.3 million seats in Head Start could've been spilt. 240,000 teachers could've been paid, but instead we got a general with a God complex parade. 1.1 million students could've been debt-free. $20,000 off each back, just let that be. But no, the rocket fuel comes first in line. You keep bleeding for the empire, I keep spitting this rhyme. Bernie said it in black and white. Iraq, 2.1 trillion. Afghanistan, 2.3 trillion. Iran next, 1 trillion. And the poor get a match and the promise. 1 trillion for the war. Killing, killing, killing. $0 for the floor. Killing, killing, killing. Donnie's watching from the shore. Killing, killing, killing. Not a penny for the poor. While you stand in line. 1 trillion for the war. 1 trillion. 1 trillion for the 1 trillion. Finish him. For what?
Hey y'all, this one's for the timeline. Erica was tired of the Perfect Wife show. Charlie had the preaching, but we all kinda know. Secret nights with Benny, keeping it on the low. Mama spilled the tea, said the family man thing was just for show. Then that Utah night under those bright lights, one rooftop shot into Charlie's big fight. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Charlie. Ain't no widow tears, she's smiling oh so hearty. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Charlie. Now she's running TP USA, hugging on JD. Took over the org faster than you could blink. Changed the wheel, moved the cash, didn't miss a thing. Wrapped her arms round Vance, fingers through his hair. Whispered, you remind me of Charlie, honey, we all stare. She's crazy, she's wild, she's living her best life, while the internet's screaming Black Widow, that's right. Police said lone gunman, case closed real quick, but the conspiracies are thick and the rumors are slick. She's blowing on stage with the next big thing. Erica's crazy era, let the whole world sing. Goodbye, Charlie. Goodbye, Charlie. She's the new queen now, living wild and free. Goodbye, Charlie. Woo! Goodbye,
Man, I'm surprised Lego ain't put out a cease and desist. You know, like, you can't do this anymore. They are cooking them with Lego movies, man. Lego effing movies is cooking these people, man. Who would have thought? Let's continue with some of this Iran thing and get that out the way.
Iran does not want peace. Iran wants war with America. The new Ayatollah has said US ships belong in the bottom of the ocean. Iran has chosen this path. They don't want to negotiate with America. They don't want to abandon their nuclear weapons program. 60% is nuclear weapons technology. It's not civilian. Civilian is 5%. America is planning a longer war against Iran as we speak. Trump has doubled his resources in the region, 4 aircraft carriers, and rumor says he's discussing with Congress to get actual approval for a real war. What kind of attack is Trump gonna do? Secure Isfahan with troops? Secure one of the islands in Strait of Hormuz? We don't know, but this war is gonna get a whole lot worse very soon.
Arabia spent $150 million on a single movie and earned $472,000 back. Desert Warrior was the crown jewel of Mohammed bin Salman's Vision 2030, a soft power rebrand disguised as an epic. They hired Rupert Wyatt, fresh off launching Rise of the Planet of the Apes, cast Anthony Mackie, cast Ben Kingsley. Then the production collapsed, union disputes, crew walkouts, a director replacement before a single frame was locked. Marketing was so invisible. Most industry insiders had never heard of it until release week. Opening weekend, 316 times less than the budget.
So Saudi Arabia's push into America, right? The UAE, those oil barons, those heartless small hats posing as Arabs, they're failing spectacularly, right? It's beautiful to watch because remember, they made they bought EA Sports, right, which is the maker of the Madden games. They took over golf. They took over boxing. They had Floyd and all of them kissing the ring. They took over comedy. They had what's your man? What's homie? Dave Chappelle and all of them niggas ran over there and they sold out, right? They went and kissed the ring and whatnot. And at the same time, remember these people were funding a genocide in Africa. They were behind an entire genocide in quote unquote Sudan of not of Aboriginal indigenous people, of ancient people. We're talking about ancient people coming out of Timbuktu and all of that. They were ethnically cleansing people with 12 DNA strands and whatnot, stealing all of that gold. So all of that stuff that we see in Dubai, that fake ass shit that, you know what I mean, that house of cards came collapsing down. The wrath of Allah, right? Even over there where they got the Kaaba, you saw with the Epstein thing that they were sending out the pieces of the Kaaba to Epstein, you know what I mean? So the credibility of that entire region is destroyed, okay? The credibility of that entire region has been collapsed, and it's beautiful to see and whatnot. I cannot stand those people. So yeah, I just pray and pray that they keep failing, shit keep flopping, and nothing ever goes good over there. You know what I mean? There is no love at all. So while we are tapping in to geopolitical news and whatnot, let's go to Africa. Because I've said before, while they're doing this thing in Iran and whatnot, pay attention to the bait and switch. As they are doing that, they're working on Africa. Please understand that they're working on an African invasion while they have us occupied with what's going on. They are behind the scenes doing clandestine moves and whatnot to get Traore and all of them, all of the leaders in the Sahel, right? Because they want all of those resources. The goal at the end of the day is still Africa. At the end of the day, the number one goal is still Africa, all right? And all of those resources and everything that it has. You hear all of that talk about raw minerals, raw earth, rare minerals and all of that stupid shit. And then the United States of America trying to pressure all of these African countries into accepting their health deals and their military bases and all of this other shit. Yeah.
So Mali just had one of the biggest coordinated attacks in over 15 years, and they just assassinated the Minister of Defense. May he rest in power, as he was very instrumental when it came down to putting in place this revolutionary government, kicking out France, taking over the military government in Mali. He coordinated the coup that happened along with the President Tiani, as well as bringing in Russia to help fight the insurgents. He just was under United States sanctions about a week ago before he was assassinated. May I make mention of that? And we just seen over 11,000 Islamic insurgents came into Mali, guns blazing, tried to capture over 6 different cities in Mali. And what did Mali do? Mali fought back and won. If this was just a regular African country, they probably would have taken over the government and there would have been a new puppet government in power, or they would have taken over these cities. Mali fought back with the help of Russia and beat they asses. And while doing this, we saw a wave of Western propaganda. Mali's being taken down. The city is being taken over. Mali's about to fall. All this stuff. I'm now learning how careful you have to be with reading news reports in the West before hearing what's actually happening on the ground. And we have to understand something. Mali right now, the AES, the Alliance of Sahel States, have recently came together for the first time in hundreds of years. They are now realizing the wealth of their land. And France just will not let go, because you got to understand something. France basically lives and thrives off of the poverty of these African countries. And they will do anything, like they're doing now, to make sure that they remain destabilized. As long as you are, keeping a country war torn, that will impede a country's ability to develop. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, extremely rich in mineral resources. And now for the first time, they are realizing the wealth of their land after kicking the French out and nationalizing these mines. They're now realizing the wealth of the land for their people. And we are now seeing a wave of attacks left and right. But you got to ask yourself, who is funding these Islamic terrorists? Who's giving them the guns? I've seen pictures of them laying dead with a Starlink box right next to them. Starlink ain't cheap. Like, who is actually funding these people? I think we already know the answer to that, right? Mali knows the answer to that. But we have to give Mali a standing ovation for their fight. And if you a black person, if you an African person, and you're not paying attention to what's happening in the AES, you're living under a rock. Like, this is one of the most important movements when it comes to Africans, when it comes to melanated black people on this planet. What's happening in the AES is extremely revolutionary. They are literally fighting for their freedom, for their sovereignty. And they are not standing down. How they even came into power, the whole story is just a movie. It's a movie playing out before us in real time. And I love watching them, because this is the only place on the planet Earth that we are really going to see a real revolution happen amongst the government, where there's a complete gutting and change of government. It is happening in the AES, and that's why they want to take these guys out. They do not want the black man realizing their wealth and their power, okay? Because these countries, they control uranium, gold, copper, lithium, cobalt. I mean, any type of mineral you could think of, they have. Especially them united. It's crazy.
That's why I've said before, and I'm going to say it again. The Sahel region and what Ibrahim Traore is doing is the most important story on the planet right now. Okay? There's nothing fucking with that story. There's nothing to pay attention to other than that. That's where the energy is. That's where the story is being written. That is where the Messiah, the rising of the messianic force, you're seeing that play out right there. You're seeing that play out right there. They're not terrorizing their people. They're not doing it under the guise of lawlessness, similar to what we might see going on in Haiti and whatnot. They are taking their shit back, and they're snuffing France in the face. They're kicking France in the mouth, okay? And like she said, they are sitting on wealth. They are sitting on real wealth, mineral wealth, wealth in the earth, planet, the space, the aerial space, land, real estate, the great estate, the vast estate. That story, that whole entire quote unquote situation over there should be spoken of more so. It should be looked at. But what are they doing over here? They're not talking about it. They're not giving it no real kind of energy. What are they talking about over here? What are they focusing on over here? Because there's so much hate and so much division, them Africans ain't even getting the type of energy that they deserve from our people. Start for fucking law.
I love watching them, because here in America, told Nigeria to stop refining oil and import fuel instead. Within days, facing African outrage, they deleted the report. No explanation, no apology, just evidence erasure. Shell and BP spilled oil across the Niger Delta for decades. Environmental genocide, contaminated water, destroyed communities. The World Bank said nothing. But the moment Nigeria builds its own refinery, suddenly they care about Nigerian consumers. Aliko Dangote built one of the world's largest refineries, ending a colonial nightmare. Nigeria exports crude, foreign companies refine it abroad, then sell it back at premium prices. Now, with the Strait of Hormuz in turmoil, Dangote's refinery supplies the world. Nigeria went from dependent importer to strategic global supplier. The West cannot stand it. After backlash, the World Bank clarified their position in development language, hoping you'd forget what they said. Nigeria's economy grew 4% in 2025. Inflation dropped from 26.3% to 15.1%. The refinery works. They wanted to dismantle it anyway. This is the World Bank's playbook. Force privatization, cut services, destroy local industries. When Africa builds economic sovereignty, they call it a problem. Africa's mineral wealth shouldn't be refined abroad. The digital revolution demands minerals and Africa controls the supply. The question is, will you own the processing or just watch foreign companies profit again? Comment gold to join my masterclass on mineral processing. Learn how you can capture your share of Africa's wealth explosion. The continent is projected to see an 80% surge in millionaires. Learn how to own supply chains, build local processing, secure generational wealth.
We're gonna take a look at what our greatest ally and most civil army in the world has been up to during this ceasefire. As you can see, this is Lebanon. We're moving, grooving, bobbing, sliding with a drone. And they decided the ceasefire meant that that was for civilians. This is all Hezbollah. Whoa. That's the, hold on. Don't, this is solar panels. Why would you show them the solar panels thing? So Hezbollah, they use solar panels to, they get energy to then, supply their rockets, and they're going to try to get a nuclear bomb. And destroying the truck is just part of it. Move on. Every single one of these houses, some of these used to be schools, hospitals, but that was Hezbollah. You know what I'm saying? They were deep in the trenches. You understand? And I can imagine the Lebanese people are very ecstatic that this was done to places they've been living their entire life, and some have family bloodlines. Wait, whoa, what the fuck? Why? They were terrorists as well. Just trust me, that was Gaza, Palestine, but still terrorists. You see, Hezbollah was there, right back there, deep in the Kalak Neosporin. That was one of their strongholds. Now we're to a different part of the city. Still, same assessment here. This is the most civil army in the world. I mean, how could you not be supportive of this and be like, wow, I can't believe they're saving the Lebanese people from such a terrible, terrible terrorist organization. This was a church. Hezbollah had there was rockets in the basement, and we know God wouldn't want that, so he's like, oh, we bomb that. Think about it. Who is more moral and civil of an army than people that are willing to drop leaflets to civilians and say, hey, you have 2 hours to clear all your family belongings and get all your family together and leave the city completely, because we're gonna blow it up. And if you don't leave, well, we're sorry, but your life is in danger. And like we said, we're going to blow it up, regardless if you're there or not. So you should leave. Because, wow. Come on, son. That's amazing. These are definitely God's chosen people. Hezbollah soccer stadium that we clearly had to take over because, we can't be letting terrorists play soccer. You can see some of our greatest ally and most moral soldiers. We decided to put our flag up. We did yellow line and say we're going to stay there forever, but, that's just to eliminate Hezbollah because we got to get the terrorists out of there. You understand what I'm saying? Now, we know we haven't shown you any tunnels, but trust us, they're there, underneath, for sure. God, you understand that you're about to ruin fucking Christian Zionism for us? He was sledgehammering the Jesus statue because there could have been an explosive inside the head. Now, that could have, it wasn't going to set it off, though. It was just believe me. And of course, we have Bibi the Bomber, Benjamin Milikowski, or do you like Netanyahu? I don't know, whatever. He's bragging on Twitter. Well, really, I think he's still dead. But he's showing, them taking out Hezbollah. What would the U.S. be without allies like you?
People don't understand the significance of the King and Queen of England visiting the United States this week. So let's break it down. It's the final stages of America's dismantling of British Admiralty law, a critical step required for America to legally restore its sovereign state. Look at the schedule of where he's going. He's going to Washington, D.C., the 9/11 Memorial, and Virginia. Each location holds symbolic and historical significance tied to Britain's long-standing system that has quietly governed America for well over a century. This process requires the living authority to appear in person at the exact centers of origin, operation, and control. This legal requirement requires the mandatory cooperation of the monarchy in order for America to reclaim its sovereignty. Physical presence and public witness fulfill the legal requirement. As the living head of the British Crown that has governed America through Admiralty law, it's the king who carries the lawful authority to sign off on the end of that system so that we can go back to the law of the land. It's a visible confirmation that the British maritime system is coming to an end in America. We are no longer being governed as a corporate entity. We go back to being a sovereign country. I posted videos about the astrological alignment that we were going through known as the Ring of Fire between April 26th and May 1st. It is April 30th today. And April 30th marks the official end of the corporation. America is no longer property of the three-headed beast, the world banks, the monarchy, and the Vatican. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, you got about 5 minutes to go back and relearn everything.
So Trump was gifted with a gold bell from King Charles, not Prince Charles, King Charles, born November 14th, the same day as me and Blue. The whole visit was crazy. You got to really pay attention to that. It happened last week, right? Very significant. Once again, somewhat swept under the rug because of all of the other crazy shit going on in the news and whatnot, but very, very interesting. And I suggest that we look further into it, okay? Yeah, browsy.
Doesn't start with a scream. It starts with an invitation. You've noticed the glitch, that feeling that the world isn't just chaotic, it's scripted. Give me 60 seconds and I'll break down the truth about the global possession matrix. Like, the invitation leads to an infestation. It's not just places, it's frequencies.
Right, and I do have to add that in the Scorpion moon, the King Scorpion, he is a Scorpion. King Charles is a Scorpion king. Regardless of how people might want to see it or view it, or he is a Scorpion king. He is a king, and he's a Scorpion. He's born on my birthday. And the Scorpion king was over here during the Scorpion moon, right? With Donald Trump and the rest of them people handing over the reins. Shall we continue?
You open an app, you are entering a digital sacred space designed by the occult architects. The symbols you see in the Olympics or the Super Bowl, those aren't art. They are sigil antennas. They are broadcasting a low vibrational signal designed to tenderize your psyche. You think you're consuming content, but the content is actually consuming you. You are becoming a host for a frequency that is not yours. Now, this is where the weight sets in. This is oppression. Have you ever noticed that no matter how much you rest, you're still Tired? That your anxiety feels like a physical hand on your chest? This is spiritual friction. The entity, the system, is trying to bypass your threshold of resistance. It's attacking your sleep, your focus, and your dopamine. Why? Because a focused mind is a sovereign mind. They need you fragmented. They need you in compartments. This is where the sin compatibility comes in. They find your one weakness, anger, lust, vanity, and they turn it into a legal entry point. Now look, this is the part that they bury. Possession is often a hereditary asset. We're talking about generational possession. In high-level occult circles, the father performs the dedication on the offspring. They use trauma to shatter the child's psyche, creating a void. Why? Because an entity needs a vessel. To them, your bloodline is just a relay station. They don't leave when the body dies. They migrate to the next available pre-shattered host in the family tree. You aren't fighting your own demons, you're fighting theirs. And look, dude, just look at the global ceremonies, the pentagrams, the ritual mockery. They do this in public because they need collective intent. When 100 million people watch a ritual, they are providing the battery power to thin the veil. By simply witnessing it without renouncing it, you are giving tacit consent. You're essentially notarizing their contract with your own eyes. This is how they normalize the crazy shit. This is how they make the unnatural feel like inevitable. Now, the only way to break a pact you didn't know you signed is through active severance. Most people will watch this, feel the weight of it, and immediately go back to scrolling to numb it. That is the script reasserting control. But a few of you feel a click right now. That's your original consciousness rebooting. If you can feel that click, the entity is losing its grip. The field is only open to those who recognize the schematic. If you're still here, you're part of the 1% that can actually see the bars. I need you to anchor this awareness. Comment, scroll if you notice the patterns in your own life.
All go wrong. The demonic cult decided to enslave humanity under the doctrine of Lucifer. And because they were continually banished for such evil, they adopted secret protocols to lie, infiltrate, and destroy their opposition from within. They use Babylonian money magic to impose usury system under their control and systematically seize control of all of the world's currency, which in turn enabled them to easily dominate global media and academia to ensure that they could scrub out their past and remain hidden for centuries. The most powerful governments and monarchies were quickly in their pocket, and those who opposed their rules were aggressively removed and replaced.
They use secret societies to recruit the rich and powerful under Satan's hidden command and establish a global network of loyal servants who would protect the cult and exploit the masses with complete disregard.
Science,
history,
religion,
psychology,
and even law were hijacked to reflect their version of reality, and the people were distracted, dumbed down, and taught to swallow a system of material worship, division, and oppression, where war, poverty, and disease would be intentionally used to make the people increasingly weakened.
Imperialist nations who had served their purpose would be eventually stabilized and crushed under an authoritarian rule.
Through a series of devastating methods,
whilst those who pull the strings would remain a protected class
within their dedicated demonic cult, and taught to worship and fear their very own corporate nation state, which boldly brandished their mystical symbolism in plain sight.
Now all that is left to do is to finally remove the last of their wealth and possessions and ultimately call the herd. So what you gonna do about it, huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it, huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it, huh? What you gonna do, man? So what you gonna do about it, huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it, huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do about it, huh? What you gonna do, man? So what you gonna do about it, huh?
about how people take advantage of visionaries. Like, as a creative thinker, as a creative visualizer, as a person who has a high resolution imagination, people make themselves available to your imagination.
Now, from a word from our sponsors.
I don't think we talk enough about how people take advantage of visionaries. Like, as a creative thinker, as a creative visualizer, as a person who has a high resolution imagination, people make themselves available to your imagination. They watch it as if it's a theater. They take the concepts and they run off without compensation as if you haven't presented any value to their lives. You think they can do that covertly under the premise of it being intangible value, but really it's just plagiarism of intellectual property, for real. No, that's really what it is, because as a visionary, you're a liminal architect. You're an alchemical designer. You're a developer. You're developing the preliminary framework and the blueprint to dreams when you articulate your creative ideas to people. You give input when you elaborate. You're participating in the ingenuity of the mental framework, which is the infrastructure for the potentiality of the lives that they can live. It's not something that's light, and everybody don't have that ability to cause other people to visualize at a higher resolution. That's called inspiration. Me personally, I'm sick of people taking my inspiration, living their lives off of it, and pretending like I didn't do nothing for them. That's a recurring theme in my life. It's been happening for years on years on years, and I'm just now getting to the point to understand that
American history is a fucking joke. A cheap, glittering lie they force-fed us from the cradle. Heroic tales of brave explorers and noble founders. Grand adventures carved into our minds like scars we were taught to worship. Expeditions that never happened. Kings that held no throne. Victories they scream about in every classroom, completely made up to hide their barbaric crimes against humanity. And when you finally rip the blindfold off and tear the Stockholm Syndrome out of your veins, it'll illuminate your soul. The captors don't even bother hiding it anymore. They'll tell you anything they want, as long as you're sticking to the chemical schedule that's pulling the wool over your eyes. And you feel it, don't you? Deep down. That gnawing wrongness in your spirit. Look at the cornerstones of these colossal buildings still towering over us. Monuments that weren't built by the story they sold us. They were found, discovered standing tall long after a savage mixture of cataclysm and invasion wiped the old world away. Raised in forbidden epochs, they viciously scrubbed from every history book, engineered with a terrifying precision and godlike scale that exposes our so-called modern achievements as clumsy, stumbling imitations. The dates carved in stone don't match their fairy tale. The rock itself screams the truth the textbooks tried to murder, and the devil isn't hiding in the details. He's laughing in plain sight, impersonating our entire culture, stealing our story, and wearing it like a grotesque mask. They told us we come from nothing. Huts, teepees, savage and empty to the core. And every time I hear that shit, it makes me laugh. Because these pathological liars will flip their own mother inside out, steal her soul, and repurpose her bones if it keeps their empires of lies standing. They loot and rape everything sacred. They twist the living genius into dead myths. They gut cathedrals and turn them into prisons for the human spirit. And then they stare at us with those empty, heartless eyes and expect us to love our own enslavement. And some really do. But this is far from the truth of where we actually came from. Our ancestors lived in a depth most people today can barely imagine. Their days carried real meaning. Their way of life had purpose that reaches way beyond what our modern minds can grasp. Everything they did flowed in harmony with something greater, with the divine itself. It wasn't forced or complicated. It was truly natural. And none of this needs to be about race or pointing fingers at any one group. Everybody played a part. Everybody carries some guilt in how we all got here. And at the end of the day, in this holographic matrix we've all been pulled into, it's not about skin or borders anymore. It's simpler and deeper. It's spirit against those who have none. Those anchored in something eternal versus those who move through the world completely hollow. So if a picture's worth 1,000 words, then here, I tried to map it out visually so the heart can see it more clearly. Think about the sheer evil it would take to destroy an entire world, and then sit back and watch it burn. These beings were never like us. They were empty of the Creator's love, untouched by that divine spark, cold-blooded and strategic, the complete antithesis of original man. And a century-old cover-up can twist your mind so far from the truth. fake fire stories, wartime veterans handing out the gift to gab, all of it sold to us, and so many still buy every word. And the cognitive dissonance runs deep, because deep down, you think your ancestors would never do such things. But these are the legions of the Cabbage Patch armies marching through the rubble and mud, sifting through the ruins, erasing every trace of those who survived. Anything that couldn't be reprogrammed was obliterated. Anything that still carried the breath of life, that still spoke with its own living voice, got stamped out with no mercy. And here we are, still pledging allegiance to these imposters, these illegal aliens on our own soil, the ones who now call us the foreigners in the land our people have always known. We pay taxes to their illusions. We hand over our money for health care that keeps us sick enough to stay dependent. We fund their fairy tale version of life, and somehow, we've been conditioned to love it. Just imagine a real culture still buried beneath our feet, layer after layer of what was stolen and hidden. The captors know more about who you truly are than you've ever been allowed to know about yourself. They've studied it, cataloged it, and weaponized it. And trying to explain this to another human, it's like that 10-minute brutal fight scene from the movie They Live. You'll be shoving the glasses into their hands, desperate for them to see the truth. While they swing at you with everything they've got, they'll fight you tooth and nail, bleeding, just to protect their masters, clinging desperately to that warm, brainwashed version of reality they've been given. Anything to avoid waking up. Anything but stepping into the role of a true warrior. We were never complacent by nature. That fire, that sovereign spirit lived in our blood from the beginning. But the synagogue of Satan understands trauma like no other. Master sorcerers who have learned to slice the soul into compartments, locking away pieces of you they never intend to release. Some say they keep us around for food, energetic livestock for beings who feed on loosh and suffering. Others believe it's purely about eternal enslavement, a livestock pen for the spirit. But me, I feel something darker. I believe they simply just hate us. They despise the spark we carry, the remnant of the Creator that still flickers in original man. They thrive on our misery, grow fat on our despair, and draw power from every tear and broken dream. Whether the reset came through mud, a flood, or a roaring phoenix event, the one chapter they always erase is the invasion and the murderous past of the indigenous man. That's the part they will never speak of. Colonizers have no conscience. Not then, not now. They move through the world like shadows without souls, and they do it with the eager help of the chemically imbalanced common man, the very people they've broken, medicated, and turned into willing foot soldiers for their own cage.
So yeah, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to learn about. There's a lot to unlearn and relearn. You know, it's just so much. You know what I mean? Like, there is no time to take time off and talk about things that are not relevant. You know what I mean? It's no time to be goofy. You know, there's a ongoing investigation into who the hell we are and what really happened. Because I don't feel like people are going to, the spirit is not going to settle. I mean, if you are conformed, then maybe, like, you are part of the matrix, you are NPC. But if you wake up and you realize that you was asleep, your spirit will not settle until you find out more truths and more truths and more truths. It's almost like an insatiable appetite to learn more and more and more so you could become more centered. Other than that, your ass is living in limbo. You know what I mean? And I don't want to be in limbo. I don't want to be in limbo. Let's go a little down this rabbit hole. Let's check this out.
All the industries, every single.
No, not right now. That's not. We're gonna talk about the fall of the spirit.
Every tornado,
but not right now. Check this shit out.
Tornado that's hit the United States for the last 2 years has taken out a town that was built to put the Native Americans on reservations, all of them. Okay, so Mineral Wells, Texas just got hit. I looked to see what we did to the natives there, and there was a giant massacre that ended the entire reservation system in Texas in 1858. Okay, They went and took out women and children who were sleeping, and it was a peaceful tribe that we had like treaties with. And guess what? When that happened, Uranus was at 0 degrees of Gemini. And guess what? Uranus is at 0 degrees of Gemini right now. It's only the second time that Uranus has swooped back around to Gemini since 1858. And it's not just the tornadoes. The wildfires are taking out all the places that we burned out natives to send them onto reservations. The hurricane that went onto the top of the mountain, that's where the Trail of Tears started. Okay, Minneapolis, that's the first place that we were pulling natives out of their homes. Okay, and in case you haven't noticed, this country is being settled. This country is being settled by settlers. Since Pluto has gone into Aquarius, everything that is happening here is the United States karma for what we did to the natives. And we have to learn the lessons from the mistakes that the natives made, because they could have defeated us in order to win. I'm telling you since last year that on or around April 24th, JD was going to take over the presidency, and what happened on April 25th. And look, JD had a level 2 lot of spirit shift in Pisces.
Not right there. Hold on. Not right now. Tell him something else. Tell him something else.
Tropical Storm Chantal caused more damage. Tropical Storm Chantal caused more damage than any actual hurricane in 2025 to the U.S. And you know where it hit? It started out in Charleston, South Carolina. That is where 50% of all slaves came into the port from the transatlantic slave route.
It's information like this. Why could we not get this information from our own people? Like, why? What? That's what I'm saying. Where are the researchers at? With all of these YouTube channels, with everybody claiming all of these names and everything, where's the this is research. Where's the research? Why the fuck does Waldo have to give us the research, bro?
That was the main port of entry. Okay, and then it went up into Wilmington, which was another fairly major port of entry. 50% of the population of Wilmington was slaves in 1860. You know, Thalian Hall, which is a big theater there, keeps getting destroyed by hurricanes every few years, and that is where they actually did the trade. And then it just continued on up through the center of North Carolina. Did you know 1/3 of all slaves in the U.S. were in North Carolina in 1860? You know, Asheville, where they had that big Hurricane Helene hit a couple of years ago, they were actually 50% slave as well in 1860, which is crazy because they didn't even have like plantations, but they just really didn't want to do any work. Also, Hurricane Aaron, the one Category 5 that came by, didn't really hit the U.S., but it did hit the Outer Banks of North Carolina, which were also places where slaves were kept, except it skipped right over Roanoke Island. They didn't have any damage there. That was an island where freed slaves lived. Anyway, 2025 was a fairly calm hurricane season because Neptune had just dipped back into the final degrees of Pisces in retrograde, and that's the god of the sea. Okay, so the oceans were more calm, but now he's in Aries. He's fired up and ready to go. So I will be watching this year's hurricane season intently, and we will be studying the history of those places.
I would love for somebody to go ahead and do some more research on some stuff like this. This is something that I would want my people to bring to us. This is something that you would think that all of the indigenous people that are running around doing trail dances and whatnot will come bring information like this. It would hit harder when our people bring it, even though the clear people have a better understanding as to certain things that took place because they benefited from the Holocaust and the genocide, and they know, you know, they probably got a little more insight as to certain things. But god damn it, you know what I mean? Yeah, Dick Gregory talked about the hurricanes, but Dick Gregory is no longer here. Who picked up Dick Gregory's work? Who's doing Steve Coakley's type of work? Who? Well, it's millions of us that have woken up, millions of people that are woke and everything. Where's the work at, though? That's my thing. Where's the work at? Why the hell is she the one doing the work? Something like this. This is a story. This is a major story that the ancestors are coming back smacking shit. The ancestors are active and whatnot. It could be proven, right? And it's in alignment with the precession of the equinox. That's some real fucking information right there. Other than that other bullshit that I be hearing, this is important. This is important. So it's stuff like that. I'm like, bro, where is the it's too many people out here for the research. Niggas want to talk about Planet X and all kind of other shit and all of this other stuff. Where's the practical research with the receipts? That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for, because that story got my wheel. This story got my wheel spinning. I'm like, word, I could see it. I could see it. So let us continue. Let's bring it to Atlanta real quick. Yeah, this sister has something to say to the Atlanteans.
So it's just been announced that Atlanta is now one of the most surveilled cities in the world due to this new AI policing that they're about to roll out in the next few weeks. I find it very, very interesting and also scary that this is happening in a predominantly black city. You know, there's a Goody Mob song that talks about this, and I'm gonna put the lyrics like right here. CeeLo tried to tell y'all years ago that they was finna trap y'all niggas, and that's exactly what they doing. They done confused y'all. They're like, we got the World Cup and all these black, we the black Mecca, we got these black celebrities, Magic City, da 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 da. Meanwhile, you are under ball and chain in this city. You are the testing grounds for some Fahrenheit 451, do androids dream of electric sheep type shit. This is the testing ground. Because if they can do it in Atlanta, they're going to move to LA, they're going to do Memphis, they're going to do Tampa, they're going to do Birmingham, they're going to do all the black cities. Because if they can do it in Atlanta, they can do it anywhere. But this is y'all city. This is a black Mecca. We got a black mayor. We got black city council. Meanwhile, they are putting y'all under a microscope like a bunch of specimens. Freedom where? Privacy where? Yeah, this is y'all's life now. That's why I'm getting the fuck out of here. Anywho.
Atlanta is the Ba Sing Se of the South. And if you understand the reference, great. But if you don't, there was a show back in the day called Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Disclaimer, you know, I'm not from Atlanta. I'm not Atlanta. I wasn't born in Grady and whatnot. And when I have when I critique Atlanta, or when I highlight that people are critiquing Atlanta, I don't want anybody from Atlanta to feel attacked, because this is a beautiful city in which I domicile, right? But when it comes to the critique, it's similar to if somebody came to New York and they had a lot to say about the rats, they had a lot to say about the crowdedness, they had a lot to say about the shit that they witness on the trains every day. I would literally just have to sit back and humbly listen to their critiques and whatnot, and then I'll be like, you know, we used to that. But by saying that we used to that is no way of quote unquote that's not a way of wishing it away. To say, oh yeah, that's how we used to, that's still like, you know, you still gotta admit that it's fucked up. You still gotta admit that it is you know, somewhat, and sometimes you gotta take that L and whatnot. So there's a critique about what's going on in Atlanta, like in the past 20 years, where this illusion of black excellence, or this illusion that was being sold to the world, is not real. And not only is it not real, every year it gets worse and whatnot. So not only wasn't it real back in 20 years ago, it considerably got worse every single year, to the point where now when people are they have clear critiques, the natives are like, yeah, pack up and leave. Y'all should go. I'm leaving. Respectfully, nigga, you don't gotta tell me twice. And it's not, I'm not leaving because you said so. I'm leaving because the idea of Atlanta is over with. Okay, I'm leaving because the motherfucking show is over. Did it start with the Olympics? I would say that I would say it started with the Boule sellouts, and that was probably before the Olympics. I would say that some of the Boules, the same way that they sold Harlem out and they sold New York out through Adam Clayton and them when they were kind of like, you know, gerrymandering, and they, you know, because the same thing happened to Harlem, and the same thing happened to New York City, Brooklyn, Harlem, to be exact. I'm about to put some videos up here about the property theft and everything, but it's almost like getting mad at the end of a 5-hour movie. You wake up and you like, yo, what's going on? The movie is 4 hours and 30 in. It's a 5-hour movie. Where the fuck was you at the whole 4 hours and 30 minutes? That's what's going on in New York. They making noise about it, but it's too late. They making noise in Atlanta about the fact that they got their Blackwater or Black Rock, and all of these people came and bought out this city and whatnot. And when you drive around the A and you look at all of the construction that's taking place, it's not our people, bro. We're getting priced out. Rent is like $3,000. You know what I'm talking about? You get your car broke into. Niggas is still getting stuck up in daylight. The homelessness is off the chain and whatnot. The food is bad. It's overpriced. They under-deliver out here. The weed is horrible. Like, bro. The women look burnt out. Like, bro. All type of iniquities have been allowed to take place. And you remember I was telling y'all about the YSL, the reign of YSL, before they took that piece of shit and his whole crew down. What was going on in Atlanta? You literally could smell the death in the air. When I came, when YSL and all of them and all of these street niggas was running this shit, you could smell it. You could taste it in the air. That's how bad it was. Okay? You could taste it in the air. It was horrific. The body count now is the children killing one another. They let the children go crazy and whatnot. The children are killing one another. You feel me? They you know, they got the gang shit going on and all type of things. So yeah, when this woman says what she says, it's like cool. You know, I would tell the natives and whatnot, you know, before y'all throw those, before the Killer Mikes and the Isaac Hayes ass nigga, I got a lot to say, but I'm not gonna say it. You know, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna be respectful and whatnot. Enough is already being said. I'm not gonna pile on top of it. I more so will represent the solution side henceforth, while we had those outings on Stone Mountain. And what did that have to do with? Breaking the spell. There's no other reason for me to climb that mountain for 3 years straight other than to get on top of that shit. I'm not doing it to hug people and take pictures and go live. I don't give a damn about that. I went there. I went on top of that mountain, on top of that crystal, so we could break some damn spells, because I figured that the motherfucking spells was coming from that mountain, because they was up there sacrificing black boys and whatnot, and they was up there sacrificing our people, or going all the way back to the early 1900s. And people who live out here, who were born out here, who grew up out here, they won't touch that mountain. They won't go near that mountain. You know what I'm talking about? They will not go near that mountain because of the history of that mountain. And I'm not mad at that. I know certain people won't go to Central Park. They will not step foot in Seneca Village. They like, hell no, I will never go in Central Park. It is cursed. They did our people wrong. They misplaced our people. I know some people that won't even go downtown Brooklyn to Wall Street, where they had the slave grounds and whatnot. They not touching that area. They like, nah, it's cursed. So by summoning spell breakers, by making the call and bringing shamans, brujas, root workers, all type of people, drummers, and we get on top of that mountain and we burn down, we chant down Babylon, and we call upon our ancestors. Atlanta is Atlantis. That is what we were doing. That's not the only thing that we were doing, but that is part of our ceremony to break the spell. Yes, the Klan, the Ku Klux Klan, in 1915 on Thanksgiving, on the summit of Stone Mountain, right? They burnt the cross and they launched the Ku Klux Klan. Okay, that's what they did right after the movie Rise of a Nation started going viral and whatnot. What did they do? They hung Leo Frank, which is a Jewish person. That was the reason why the ADL was started right in Marietta. They took Leo Frank out of his jail cell and they hung him. It was called the Knights of Mary Flagon. They were riding for a little white black girl, Birth of a Nation, right? Birth of a Nation. They were riding for a little white girl named Mary Flagan, who Leo Frank unalived, right? And then they went on Stone Mountain. That was in August that they hung him. And then on Thanksgiving night, they marched up the mountain and they launched the second coming of the Ku Klux Klan right on Stone Mountain. And if they went on top of Stone Mountain to declare the Ku Klux Klan in 1915, do you think they wasn't bringing our people on top of that mountain and doing them all type of dirty ways from 1915 to 2015? You damn right that they were. You damn right that they were. You know what I'm talking about? You damn right that they were. And it's from my understanding. I don't have the receipts, but I got it in a download that the Atlanta boys murder, or the Atlanta child murders, that had everything to do with Stone Mountain. They were taking them young boys up on that mountain and they were sacrificing them and then dropping them off wherever they were finding them and whatnot. And their phalluses were missing. Okay, their scrotum sacks were missing, and they were doing them dirty. Bobby Hemmett talks about that extensively, and they cast a humongous spell on the youth, because right after they did that to them young boys in the 80s, the murder rate among young black men skyrocketed all throughout the South. All throughout the South. You want to talk about some horrific shit going down? Let's talk about it, right? And then around that time, because you got to remember, because of the influx of all of the out-of-towners like the New Yorkers and everybody pushing up in Atlanta, Conyers was KKK land. All of the outskirts, they was all KKK land, bro. They just started moving away and letting our people move there. Where I'm at right now was all white folk, and we talking about the ones with the pickup trucks and all of that. They all had to Cobb County, Gwinnett County, where niggas can't even drive right now. Conyers, that was all Klan land. So what did they wind up doing? They just went further out. They own the properties. Some of them own the properties, but they began to move further out, to whereas when we went to Sassafras Mountains and whatnot, we went about an hour and a half. When we go to Etowah Mound in Cartersville, and when we go to Sassafras Mountains and whatnot, the white folks is in the mountains, mad deep in the mountains. They live all up in the mountains, right? So North Georgia mountains had gold in it. That was the first gold rush. Okay, so they took over Georgia, whacked all of the melanated people. Remember, they were getting their asses handed. They was getting spanked by our people in the wars and whatnot. They was getting spanked in the Carolinas. They was getting spanked in Georgia. They was getting spanked in Florida. That is the Seminole Wars 1, 2, and 3. Spanked them. Okay, we was in the dismal swamp. We was all up in the swamps. We was all up in the forest. We was all up in the trailways and whatnot, spanking them. They could not deal with us. And then they dealt with us. Okay, they dealt with us. So all of them Boulets, Forsyth County, Clayton County, you feel me? Fairburn and all of that. None of that was friendly. Those were sundown towns. So you know the New Yorkers is like, sundown what? Sundown where? If rent is 400, nigga, I'm moving over there. You know what I'm talking about? They pulling up. That wasn't the natives that did all of that started populating the outskirts. That was implants. That was people who was coming from out of town who didn't give a fuck about all of that shit. They was like, so what? So what? They're gonna have to pack us up if that's the case. So what? And they started populating those areas, and the white folks just moved further out and whatnot. But let's be clear. Let's be clear. Them politicians and whatnot who are boule, who touch their toes for those Scottish, for the Masons and everything. Those are the boules. Those are F boys. Straight like that. How you think that shit kicked off so hard with niggas with broken wrists and whatnot? Who broke their wrists? How did Atlanta become home for niggas with broken wrists? Who broke their wrists? You feel me? Who broke their wrists?
In one of the seasons, the main character and his friends go to this city called Ba Sing Se. And there was a phrase in Ba Sing Se: there is no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Meanwhile, folks were getting kidnapped and were put into labor camps underneath the city. The government was lying. The government tried to kill the Avatar, which was a person that's going to save the whole world from the Fire Nation. So Atlanta is very much that, because in Atlanta, I'm not talking about Georgia, in Atlanta, you have nothing but black people running this shit on paper. And it has been like that for a long time. For what I will say, for the last 60 to 70 years, starting with the reign of Maynard Jackson as mayor. Even before that, when you're in the, even within the civil rights movement, you still had prominent black people making significant feats and changes within this city. And what have y'all done with it? You have Cop City coming. You have 20,000 AI-powered surveillance cameras coming, about to make Atlanta the most surveilled city in the world. Your homeless rate among black people is some of the highest in the country. Your unemployment rate is some of the highest in the country. If you are a person in Atlanta, you are a black person in Atlanta, and you are reported to be born into poverty, you have a 4% chance of actually escaping that in Atlanta. In a city where there are thousands of nonprofits, and 34% of those nonprofits are led by black people. What the fuck are y'all doing?
What's the difference between PG County, Maryland, Dallas, motherfucking Texas, and Atlanta, Georgia? Right? Because those are places where prominent melanated people who got real money, not that new money, old money, generational money. What is the difference between the two? You know what I'm talking about? Or the three? Because you could go to places where black people got money and whatnot. You could go to places where people are doing good and it hit differently. It hit differently. So Atlanta being the #1 hub for sex trafficking and human trafficking, how, Sway? How? On whose watch? How? On whose watch? How is that possible? In the blackest Mecca, how are they taking people up out of here like that? How is niggas out here partying every night? For what? Why is the stripper shit? Why are they pedestaling strip club culture in a place that's supposed to be about black excellence? Where's that money going? What do these niggas own?
What are y'all doing? Oh, I know what you're doing. You're scamming. You're lying. You're not paying black people their worth. You're not even trying to advocate for them. What have y'all done? I'm not talking about no black excellence shit. I'm not talking about no black capitalism shit. I'm talking about for actual people, for the uneducated, for the poor and working class, for the black, queer, and trans people, for the black children. What have you done for this city? And it's nothing but us here. This should be a safe haven for black people, and it's not. It's about to become a hub for discrimination and oppression because we are allowing it to happen.
It's a testing ground. And in the next 10 years, when stories begin to roll out, because they got Cop City coming here, or it's already here, the IDF is here, right? I mean, it's just so much things going on. Like the AI policing. What is the AI policing? Flock cameras, drones, facial recognition. Okay. They're going to be rolling out data centers. They're going to be doing mad experiments. So in the next few years, when you start hearing about things happening, you understand in this seeding, this is the seeding phase. This is the phase of seeding and whatnot. Just understand what was going on and what was happening while Negroes was sitting around doing a stanky leg and twerking and whatnot and partying, and everything was happening and nobody had anything to say because, like she said, they was like, what war? What do you mean? What war? What war? While everything is burning around them. This is the burning house that MLK was talking about. This is the burning house that MLK was talking about, that he was fearing. Super facts. This is a city with no parental guidance. And I said it before, Atlanta is a transient town. You don't have parental guidance out here like that. There's no parents out here. People are not moving on some parental guidance type shit. There's no parental guidance. Motherfuckers come out here on a run. They come out here to sell drugs. They come out here to sell box. They come out here to go to school, but they don't bring their parents with them. Okay? They start families out here, but they don't bring their parents. And for the people who are parents, like the homegrown people, that's not enough. Because a lot of them get compromised. They turn into J's and shit like that. It's just not enough. Okay? So this is a city with no parental guidance, and nobody can tell nobody nothing and whatnot, because everybody got it figured out because they got a fucking debit card.
Black people, the black mayor, the black city council, the black commissioners, the black cops, and the black fire chiefs and firefighters. All of that is nothing but black people here. And this is what's came of it. Atlanta is not no fucking black Mecca. It's Ba Sing Se. And if you're able to leave, I pray that you do. And if you can't, you better watch your front, watch your back, use the buddy system, learn how to defend yourself, and keep hope alive, as Reverend Jesse Jackson used to say. Dictated, not read, management.
So I have to.
So now let's go to New York, because I'm gonna spread it. My critique is not centered on one city. My critique is spread around the board. This is not a regional thing. New York needs to get cleaned the F up too. New York needs to take that mother effing L. New York is a rest haven for vagabonds at this point. And they let these people do this to them. You know what I'm talking about? And they was too busy partying. They was too busy drunk off of ego and fake ass fame and whatnot. They were too busy standing on couches doing dumb shit while everything was being stolen from under their feet and whatnot. So New York, whole as L. You know what I mean? Now, you know what I'm talking about? They out here handling our people something serious in New York right now. And if you live out there, you paying $4,000 a rent. Nigga, hold as L. Economic warfare. You walking around with a smile on your face. Economic warfare. Them small hats is cooking you.
Call the cops for this motherfucker here because he has a pen out. He tried to stab Miss Florence in her hand. I'm blocking his car. This motherfucker is not leaving. You are not fucking leaving. You don't come assault nobody. And the only reason I'm not gonna beat your ass is because I'm waiting for the fucking cops to come. You will not get in your car. I'm gonna wait for the cops to come. I'm gonna block his car. And then I will commence to beating his motherfucking ass. I will beat his ass. Let me go in my motherfucking trunk and I will get a thing. I called the cops. They're coming.
This is my father's business. You didn't
I called the cops. The cops are on their way.
You didn't buy this building. You didn't buy this building. You didn't buy this building. Get out of here. Don't get close to me. I'm taking you. You didn't buy this.
If you put your hand on her, I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass. What? Then I'm gonna give this shit to the fucking cops when your ass is on the motherfucking floor bleeding. Miss Florence, don't get near him because I'm gonna beat the shit out of him if he fucking touches you. Touch my aunt, and I swear to God, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you. I'm gonna give this tape to the fucking cops to explain why your fucking fat ass is on the floor fucking bleeding. So touch her and see what the fuck happens. You can look at me, motherfucker. Touch her and see what the fuck happens. That's right, motherfucker. You didn't pay your mortgage, brother.
I didn't have a mortgage. I sent a windtrap for the document that you signed.
I'm waiting for the fucking. He's not getting in his car. I'll tell you that. He is not getting in his fucking car. And if he get near me, I'm gonna beat the shit. I got an iron bat. I got a steel bat in my car, but I won't take it out. I don't need that to beat his ass. Touch my aunt, motherfucker. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the fucking cops. Who the fuck you come up here talking about come by this fucking building? This is a fucking outside, motherfucker.
You have a restraining order against this building. You know that.
I don't.
By who?
By who?
Guess
Last
what?
time you got
By
arrested,
who?
though,
Guess what, motherfucker? Guess what? Even if she got a motherfucking restraining order, I don't, motherfucker. And that bitch on the second floor that called the cops, I'ma beat her fucking ass
I
too.
called the cops.
That bitch called.
I called the cops.
That's motherfucker. You can get
I
it too.
did.
Good.
I did.
You gonna get your ass beat
No
too, you
problem.
fat funky motherfucker.
No problem.
Okay, touch my motherfucking aunt. You can't tell us we can't come here, motherfucker. I will sit out here all motherfucking day.
God.
And guess who can't do nothing about it? Your fucking fat ass. You
That's a
can't
real
do
New Yorker
shit.
for you.
I stay out here all motherfucking day. That's right, motherfucker.
Where the men at? Right? Somebody asked that in the chat. Where's the men? Right? I bet you if it was some other things going on, it'd be a bunch of goofy niggas with cameras in their hand right now and whatnot. Where are the men, bro?
This video, it went viral. I don't know if it was in Crown Heights or in Bed-Stuy, but there was this small hat. He's in a black neighborhood, all right? He comes up to the building and he says, I got a court order.
These guys are trying to scam my boy out his property. Look, it's the second time he came around trying to get him.
Hey, Daniel.
Trying to scam.
I came to do inspection of the house.
Ain't no inspection. You don't own the house. Get out of here.
Daniel,
you don't own
Daniel,
nothing.
You know this is a court order.
Like, get court order.
Guys must vacate.
No, get out of here. Fake ass court order. Look at this nigga trying to scam. This guy's been here for years. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. He's born here. Get out of here. When they call the cops, you came, the cops came, they did nothing. Get out of here. Yo, oh yeah. I don't know if you know this guy's trying to scam. We're not playing over here. We not playing. We don't give a fuck about that little fake ass hat. We knock his fucking hat off. We not playing. You heard me? We not playing. I'm trying to play. I'm trying to get him the fuck out of here before he gets himself hurt out here. You heard? We don't give a fuck about that hat. You heard? We don't give a fuck about that hat. We knock his fucking head off.
There was this Jewish attorney who ultimately was disbarred. Everyone can look this up. Taken on trial for running this exact scam.
Apparently there's a whole organization. They're trying to get these deeds and they get people that aren't that smart.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't done any research in this, but someone was just telling me about doing that to still homes in New York.
Yeah. This is, they getting more bold by the day because, like somebody said, they getting packed up and kicked out of they getting kicked out of these countries. Why they getting kicked out of countries? Why would they pack them up? Here's why.
Child trafficking, forced marriages, and a decades-long game of hide-and-seek across multiple continents. Meet Lev Tahar. Formed in Israel in the 1980s, Lev Tahar spent decades dodging the authorities. Mexico, Guatemala, Canada, and the United States, always dipping off right before they were caught. But in November 2024, 4 children escape a Lev Tahar compound in Guatemala, running straight to the authorities and telling them everything. In December, the police raided the compound, rescuing 160 children. Prosecutors said that the evidence confirmed forced marriages between children and grown men, SA, and physical abuse. Then in January 2025, Interpol arrests Yoel Alter, a 35-year-old Israeli and top-ranking member in the cult. The arrest was made outside of a government center for trafficking victims in Guatemala. Yoel was a wanted man in Mexico since 2022 for facilitating the marriage between underage girls to grown men. He fought the extradition for months, but luckily he wasn't in Israel and lost his final appeal in October and got shipped off to Mexico, where he now faces human trafficking and organized crime charges. Unfortunately, that's not the end of it. In November 2025, Colombian authorities raided a hotel, saving 17 children, 5 of which who had Interpol missing persons alert. This code is very much so still active. Send this to somebody who needs to know.
Dealing with those type of people. You feel me?
Brace yourselves. In a bombshell report, veteran journalist Elisa Valdez Rodriguez revealed.
Let's get into spirit, man. It's about that time. Let's get into spirit.
Saxophones, man. Rest in peace of spirit. See you never. Shut down. And I mean, RIP to our pockets, because if they shutting down, that means these prices about to sky motherfucking rocket. They was showing niggas about this shit 3:01 a.m. They shut down. Last flight lands. They get over the little intercom. Yeah, this shit over with. Good luck. And people are like, whoa, wait a second. I got a layover here. What's up? Sorry, no can do. We can't help you out with that. You could book through another airline though. And to make it even more egregious, Spirit was taking people's money and letting them buy tickets, non-refundable, by the way, up until the last motherfucking minute. Because, you know, that says everything about American corporation greed. We're fucked. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like Spirit was the worst airline in the world, because it wasn't. 0 deaths, 0 crashes. So that means they knew how to get point A to point B. Margin for error, you guessed it. Not death, uncomfortable, for sure. Moving, grooving, vibing, sliding, kind of. Not really. Bitch used to be kind of shaky. Seats was damn near plastic. But for short flights, there was nothing better. Burbank to Vegas, Spirit, catch me, shitting me. This bitch right here was $25, especially if you ain't taking no bag with you. It's like, oh, no. This is my carry-on. I'm not paying for the carry-on either, because this is the special type of carry-on that I don't have to pay for. I'm there 24 hours, 48 hours. In and out. I'm gone. Phoenix, hour 15 minutes. I get on Spirit. As soon as you get over an hour and a half, though, 2 hours, that's when I'm like, wait a second. Okay, I'm just saying you're trying to save some money, but this is our life. You understand? Like, I'm going to get that back problems and shit. We can never talk shit about, oh, they're so cheap, they crash. No, they'll never crash. Spirit never crashed. You understand? That never happened. So don't try to downplay them like that. But as a hater, sometimes you got a pocket watch. So I need to know how much money did y'all make selling tickets you knew was never going to take off. And on top of that, who's caught in their layover right now? And how does that even motherfucking work? You got to leave the spot. Man, I was booked on Spirit, so I thought my shit was going to take off at 7 a.m. They stopped flying around at 3 a.m. I guess that's just my luck. See, here I am. Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, thinking I'm about to get on another flight. Now I got to spend my hard-earned bread on a flight that leaves in like 3 hours. So you know that bitch expensive. It's like, God damn. And you just know Delta, American Airlines, Alaskan, all them they going. Dickheads, ha. Your only fucking cheap airline now is Frontier. It's like, that's not a good sign.
Genius idea. Spirit Airlines just went bankrupt, right? I'm the guy that flew Spirit Airlines for 24 hours straight. There's more than 250 million individuals over the age of 18 in the United States. Now, if we took only 20% of them and paid basically the average fare of a Spirit Airlines flight, which is somewhere around $30 to $40, we could buy Spirit Airlines. This is a genius idea. We nationalize Spirit Airlines, owned by the people. Airlines going. We make a new airline. Let's buy an airline. I should make a bet enough for this.
I'm genuinely crashing out right now.
But it's shut down because of Joe Biden. Oh, and Pete Buttigieg. Right. In a nutshell, they failed to get the $500 million bailout that they needed, and Trump has absolutely nothing to do with this. So what do we do now? Well, besides admire the internet being undefeated once again. Well, I think we're gonna try to buy Spirit. Creator Hunter Peterson created out a video and created this website essentially to have us do the Green Bay Packers model, but for Spirit Airlines. The website is letsbuyspirit.com. Before the website crashed, had $22 million pledged. Yeah, we need like $1 billion, but this is looking good. This would be unprecedented. Once they get the website up, I'll let you know, but you can pledge your vote here. Minimum pledge is a one-way ticket for Spirit Airlines, which is $45. They're taking no money right now. It's just a pledge. The website outlines everything that you need to know and how they plan on structuring this business. This is what we need more of. So if you only have $45, you get the same amount of say. Equal voting rights, you know? Because having a voice matters, and I vote. My vote is to keep the fees, but only for people that voted for Trump. But we'll put it to a vote. Proportional shares. This is how that would look. Pause to read or just go to the website. This is the Instagram account if you want to follow along there. I know it seems like a long shot, but maybe we could just buy Spirit. What do you think?
Talk about Spirit Airlines and the federal government really quick, because I don't think a lot of people fully understand what happened. They ceased their operations last night. From day one, Spirit Airlines' mission statement was to make affordable and safe commercial travel for the everyday person. The everyday person can afford to get on a plane and go from A to B. You could fly clear across the country for pennies on the dollar compared to other airlines, okay? They ceased operations. The federal government approached them and said, hey, we'll bail you out with $500 million. Which initially sounds like a good deal, right? Cheap, affordable commercial flights for the everyday person. We should have that, period, okay? The catch was the federal government would own 90% of the company, making them the majority shareholder, okay? They wanted to take half of their fleet. The federal government wanted to take half of the airplanes owned by Spirit Airlines and convert them into military use for transportation, tracking, what have you. They've done this before. Right now, as we speak overseas, left and right, our planes are getting shot down or attacked and hit to the point where they can't even function. They make emergency landings. They cannot go back up in the air. The United States also does not possess enough rare earth metals or have the money to buy anymore to build more aircraft. Rare earth metals are a major necessity when it comes to modern avionics, especially for tracking, for missiles, for guidance systems, for radars. We don't have the money, nor do we have the infrastructure to build more planes. They wanted to buy out Spirit Airlines, take over half their fleet, and convert it into military craft. Spirit Airlines said, fuck that and fuck you. So seriously, shout out to Spirit Airlines for not wanting to condone the killing of innocent brown people overseas. That's some real shit.
Like you're going to have to take over Spirit too, Marco.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And there you have it. We're yeah. Shout out to Spirit, you know what I'm talking about? And I look forward to the resurrection of the Spirit, you know what I'm talking about? Because right now, Spirit is out. The Spirit is out of business, you know. But we do look forward to the resurrection of the Spirit. You know what I mean? So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to land my plane. We do have more, but we will continue tomorrow with Melanin Monday. We'll talk about the AI police robots. We'll speak about more information about the scientists. I'm going down that rabbit hole with the missing scientists, and all of the information is coming out about that. You know what I mean? We're going to have a great conversation about that. Okay. So with that being said, we are going to close this one out. All right. Word from our sponsors, and then we will go ahead and close it out. All right. Let's go ahead and play the V-Cell CMOS. Salute.
Hey, 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 hey. V-Cell in my cup, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by CMOS. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, flaws. V-Cell in my cup, I'm feeling right. Sip to the sunrise, dance to the night. From the ocean's kiss to your city lights. 21 flavors, pure health in every bite. Drip so clean, we're custom made. From reef to street, we elevate. Gold green gel, set the record straight. Nature in a bottle, that's a better way. Charge me up, no caffeine crash. Clean energy, steady splash. From skin to gut, yeah, we live from within. Wellness on 10, let the rhythm begin. Pour it up, pour it up. Feel the wave, body thanking me. Every sip, ocean wisdom in this glass. V-Cell magic, CMOS. V-Cell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by CMOS. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, flaws. Island breeze in the city maze. We're mineral rich in 1,000 ways. Immunity high like the summer rays. Hydrate the hustle, fuel your days. Berry, mango, ginger, lime. Pick your flow, your flavor, your time. Beauty and balance we redefine. Every little sip, align your shine. Wear it up, feel the way. Body thanking me for every sip. Ocean wisdom in this glass. V-Cell magic, CMOS. V-Cell in my car, I'm feeling boss. 21 flavors powered by CMOS. Glow from within, yeah, we never fall off. Count it up, 99 minerals, flaws. From the coral choir to the heartbeat drum. Roots run deep where the wild tides hum. Real ones know where the glow comes from. V-Cell in the mix now, watch us.
Yes. Indeed. All right. We are going to close this one out with a video. All right. Let's go and pull that up. We have a video. We're going to close this out with the Cold World video. All right. Cold World video off of the Red Summer. Okay. Off of the Red Summer album, ladies and gentlemen. Tap in. We will see you mañana. Okay. We will see you mañana. Let me see. Trying to upload it. Your device is having. Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me go back. Cherry mango. Yes, it looks delicious. It is delicious. Trust. It tastes very, very good. Trust. It is very, very good. Anybody who tasted it will co-sign the taste of that sea moss gel. It tastes like applesauce. You feel me? And it has multiple flavors. So definitely, when you get the opportunity, go ahead and order a bottle. It will come to you on time, refrigerated, you know what I'm saying? And you can you could see for yourself, and then tell a friend to tell a friend. Spread the good word. Okay? So peace, y'all.
Her feet off. I caught her first feet.
She's not gonna hit you.
You need this.
You zoomed in on that? You got him, Thanos?
The interlude to the video.
Now she's screaming with.
Red Summer.
Punch me in, Quay.
Red Pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended like you was passing amendments, changing the laws. Now Freeman, like you was changing the God. Strange things, like you was strange to the gods. Simple and plain, you were fraud. How could you claim that you God? Fact that my mental was trained, like mentals in pain, the mental was trained. Plain and simple, the game is mental, train a little. When it rains, it pours, and it rains torrential. Back at the ranch like Kanye, just me and machines like Conway. Me and machines like Conway. Looking for me in the whirlwind. They didn't believe in Garvey, but they believe in Stephen Harvey. Now they thinking like women and looking like girlfriends, like on the weave of season Barbie. They didn't believe in Barbie. Niggas don't wanna do research, they just wanna wear t-shirts. I'm in the same bag that you saw up in Fendi. New Yorker was trendy. When Dr. York, he was the voice of New York like Wendy. Gave birth to the Mork and Mindy's.
The interlude to the video.
Now she's screaming with.
Red Summer.
Punch me in, Quay.
Red Pillar. When the masters ascended, you bastards pretended like you was passing amendments, changing the laws. Now Freeman, like you was changing the God. Strange things, like you was strange to the gods. Simple and plain, you were fraud. How could you claim that you God? Fact that my mental was trained, like mentals in pain, the mental was trained. Plain and simple, the game is mental, train a little. When it rains, it pours, and it rains torrential. Back at the ranch like Kanye, just me and machines like Conway. Me and machines like Conway. Looking for me in the whirlwind. They didn't believe in Garvey, but they believe in Stephen Harvey. Now they thinking like women and looking like girlfriends, like on the weave of season Barbie. They didn't believe in Barbie. Niggas don't wanna do research, they just wanna wear t-shirts. I'm in the same bag that When Dr. York, he was the voice of New York, like Wendy. Gave birth to the Mark and Mendy's. They on the wrong side of history. They on the wrong side of Sicily. The Biblio Helios, Sicily. Enemies, to repent. Hennessy, to be spent. Energy, in his tense. If it were a person, it would be Mike Pence. Niggas still see through like light tints. The light bent on a 90-degree angle. 93 hours, a 90-degree angel. A strangling Harlem world, like Charlie the Wrangle. Black woman and child, a mystical angel. You're strangled by Mr. Bojangles. I learned in Miami, some people you enter your life to feed on your light, feed on your vice. Others will enter your life and teach you to read and to write. Others will meet in your life like Jesus the Christ. He is alright, but he is not real. Some people are there when you need the advice. We giving it back to Caesar, alright. Seize the night, we got the keys to life. All night we perform like Mike. Either might seize your life, lead your life, squeezing pipes. Drip got them stuck like freezing ice. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. We breaking the bread like it's Hanukkah. Wake up to red on the monitor. On our way up like thermometer. Off of the planet Andromeda. Feet awash, listen to Pete Taj. Chances are you never dance with the stars. Had all the chances to spar in Zanzibar. My father has many new mansions on Mars. I sailed out in chrome spaceships. Bitch, I bailed out with bone bracelets. Yeah, I brailled out my own matrix. They say that it's ego, but it's a strong intention. They play with the people, take credit for wrong inventions. Long extensions, Empire State Buildings, end of time scenarios. King Kong, Dungeon Dragons, in the rhyme scenarios. The songs that mention songs that all my henchmen on. Niggas in trenches and benches with riches and bombs. Listen to songs, getting they flags and their bitches is on. Master self, catch yourself before you catch yourself. Make sure that you cash your wealth. Ask yourself when you detach your belt. If the vibe is off, it's because strides is lost. Cold world, survive the fall. Red summer, it's because strides is lost. Cold world, survive the frost. Survive the frost.